Because I remember you were saying that you were waiting in the line and stuff. And
That was the guy.
That was the guy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Vitaly Samarenko.
That's lit.
Yeah.
Wow. Good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy, yeah.
When's the last time you guys spoke?
Because I found him recently, so I DM'd him.
Yeah.
So we
You
just
found
spoke,
him?
Like
on
you reconnected with
I
him?
haven't,
Oh.
Like, he went off the map.
Oh, really?
Because he's religious.
Yeah.
You know, he's with, like he has a family now, 2 kids, a wife.
Wow.
So, like, I connected with him, like, a week ago, which is pretty cool. Because I didn't know where he was, right? Yeah.
Speaking of, like, different places, Saudi Arabia.
Are we on right now?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
shit.
how we always do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we just...
Amazing.
right in.
All right, that's very sweet.
Yeah,
So that you don't get nervous.
Can you imagine if we were like,
All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. And I'm
And I'm
like,
here taking Snapchats of myself.
Girl,
shit.
I do it all the time.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yo.
players.
It's a part of the process.
It is.
It's part of the process.
So since we're on, I just want to say thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. We're happy to have you.
Right.
We're very.
Thank you
I
for
watched your
coming,
part
making
today,
time.
and I was very excited.
Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait to ask you some questions. We can get right into it.
We can get right into it.
All right.
He's been waiting for this day, you know?
I have been waiting.
I don't know if I was though. I was kind of. I'm a shy guy, laid back.
Not
like,
when you come to
quiet.
Players Play, man.
Yeah, don't worry.
Players Play opens up everyone.
We're going to see a different
Yeah,
side
yeah,
of you
yeah.
today.
Okay.
Facts, facts.
I don't know if the world wants to see that, but let's see.
They do.
No, they do.
They want
They
it.
do.
Yeah?
They do.
Okay.
They seen the Instagram.
Yeah.
They want to see the person.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I watched the pod you did, and you spoke about some partnerships you have. Walk me through your entry into the promoting game and stuff like that. Because I'm very intrigued with how you managed to do that.
So just like the other pod that you watched, What Would It Cost?
Yeah.
My mentor, Nick Regina, he's the one that did the podcast with me, and he invited me on the pod, which was an honor because he's my mentor in the business.
Of course.
He was a legend doing what he was doing.
What was he doing? Sorry.
He was a promoter at first. He ran the biggest promotion company in Toronto. They won like 9 awards, like best promoter in Toronto.
Really?
9 years in a row, yeah. And then he actually ended up owning 2 clubs in Toronto, one of the top clubs.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Cure?
Yes.
Yeah, so he owned that, and he owned Same nightclub. Now it's Juliet. Then he also owned 2 clubs in Miami. So he went from being a promoter and then stepping his game and getting into the ownership and operating venues, which I think is fascinating. Like, that's like what I want to do. You can't see a promoter forever, right?
Yeah.
So like later on, like maybe in a couple of years, I want to start owning venues and like start operating it. So long story short, how I got started, I was like 14, 15 in high school at the time. I used to go to clubs a lot. I loved going to clubs. It's like a thrill going, you know? Turning up when you're like 14, 15, drinking.
I was a late bloomer. I barely went to clubs.
Yeah. So I was like at my friend's house praying, drinking, because you can't drink inside.
Yeah.
It's all ages.
Yeah.
And so back then, all ages was very famous in nightclubs. It was actually more popular than 19 plus.
Yes.
Because all these high schools would go out to these parties.
Can I ask you something? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Have you ever went to Madeira?
No. But have you heard of Body English in Mississauga?
I think so.
I have.
Yeah, so I used to run that for all
Oh, wait, it's not open
ages.
no more anymore, right?
No, it's called
Yeah,
Her
that used
now.
to be
Well,
poppin'.
it used to be called Her.
Don't worry about it.
It used to be called Her, and then now it's called Jungle.
Yeah.
But it's the same location. Like, it's been that building for like 13 years.
So, yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
And I was like running the all ages when I was like 14, 15.
Yeah.
So like when I was younger, obviously like I promoted venues, but I had an older person get me the venues and get me the deal.
Yeah.
Because you're like 14, 15. You can't like get a good deal with like a 50-year-old that owns a club. Like,
They're going to finesse you.
They'll take advantage of you.
Okay.
So I would get an older guy, OG. He'll get the venue and I'll just fill it with people.
Where do you find the OG?
So he was doing 19 plus.
Oh, okay.
So he was already doing it.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then I was just like reach out to him to get me the venue. So that's pretty much what we did. And so how it started is I used to go to Body English when I was like 15. The lineups are like down the street. You know the gas station?
Yeah.
You know how far the lineups are?
Yeah, it used to be packed.
And I'm like, yo, like I'm waiting in these lineups and they're taking forever. In the winter, that's brutal waiting in the line, you know? Like it's freezing cold.
Facts. Seeing all the girls get in,
The girls get in right away. The
Piss me
guys, you're at the end of the line.
Literally.
You don't know no one, you're not getting in.
Shivering.
Even today too, that's how it is, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know a promoter or a host or like the venue owner, it's hard to get in right away. You have to wait in line. There's a GM line, there's like bottle service, VIP, all that shit.
Yeah.
So I saw like people skip these lines and I'm like, yo, who are these people? Like they don't look any special, right? And then I figured that they're promoters, and that's how I got introduced to the business, because they introduced me to a guy named Maitland, and he was running that spot for many years, and he did really well at it, and then he just put me on the game. So like he just like taught me how to promote. At the time, Facebook was huge, so we used to make a lot of Facebook events. So like you would just invite all these people to Facebook events, and then that's kind of how you blew up because Instagram wasn't around. And then you had like BBM, like the group chats.
Yeah.
So I was very popular back then in those type of like group chats and like Facebook events because I have a lot of Facebook friends. And then I'll just invite people like crazy, reach out to people on birthdays, and then through that it elevated, went into 19 plus, started my own company, incorporated it, and then started a real business out of it.
Wow.
So the business venture with Snowlore, I was selling it at a venue that I used to work for, and I was selling it really well. I think we did 30K the first month in sales, which I think is phenomenal for like a local vodka. It's not like Grey Goose, Ciroc, like one of the big brands, right? It's like a local brand, and to like do that amount of volume, in your first month, like they reached out to me. They're like, "Yo, like, what do you do? Like, who are you?" And
were
then,
you doing anything special though? Like, what were you doing?
So I just made a special for it.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling people like this is cheaper than any other vodka like in the building. So they would just buy that because it was cheaper, right?
Yeah.
People like deals, people like discounts.
Yeah.
You tell people something that's $300, you knock it down to like $150, they'll buy it.
Yeah.
So I kind of did that, and then we were going back and forth for about a year in partnerships. In that podcast, I didn't sign the partnership, but I signed it after the podcast, which took like about a year after consulting with them. Yeah.
Going back and forth.
Do
you have a lawyer for that?
Yeah. Overseeing the contracts.
Yeah.
And I signed it, and basically I got
signed your
shares
life
of
away.
the company.
I'm joking.
Yeah. I signed my life away basically. But yeah, so I got shares of the company, which comes with responsibilities.
Wow. Yeah.
But it's a good thing because like if it does really do well, which I believe it will because I believe in myself, you could sell it for a lot of money long term, right?
Yeah. Are you guys looking for brand ambassadors?
Of course, yeah. We always are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we might have to talk off camera.
All right.
Players play, right?
Absolutely.
Come on,
Show them the bottle because it's so cute.
Show them the bottle, man.
Show them to us.
There you go.
So pretty.
That's a nice bottle.
Yeah.
I must say.
It's beautiful, yeah.
It's kind of shaped like a lady.
It is, right?
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, it is,
Oh, it's a lady.
Yeah. It's a lady, yeah. You didn't notice it, eh?
See?
No, I didn't
Not
notice.
even a man knew it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You said what?
Nothing.
Okay. Listen.
So honestly, this actually costs a lot of money to make.
Yeah,
Because they have to shape it.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
Yeah.
it's like very expensive to be honest.
I could imagine. Wow.
Yeah. But we have a manufacturer in southern Ontario.
Yeah.
That like is like a facility that makes it from like Canada, which is pretty cool. It's like a local Canadian brand. It's a luxury vodka, so it does really well. 30 locations in LSBL. We're trying to grow, put it in the States, get some more partnerships, make it grow bigger than what it is.
Of course.
Wonder why they hired me, because they want me to build the portfolio to make it bigger, right?
And you have the resume.
Right.
I have the resume, I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, honestly, that's dope. Honestly, I love what you're doing with them. Talk to me about the grants, because they got a grant or something like that. Some sort of government funding.
So what happened was these are Asian foreign investors from China. Their background is in pharmaceutical. So they're really big in China in that space and in that type of business. And basically they wanted to migrate to Canada like a lot of people do for a better lifestyle. And in order to get from China to Canada, I believe you have to start a business. Same thing going from Canada to the States, you have to start a business, like to get a visa, like a working visa. So they started Snowlore, and they got a lot of foreign investors involved because it's not easy. I think they invested like $2 million.
$2 million.
Yeah, $2 million to bring it to Canada, because it's actually in China right now.
It's in China right now.
And it's booming, yeah. But then they brought it in Canada.
Yeah.
And so they had meetings with Trudeau, Doug Ford.
Really?
Yeah, because they're huge, right? Like they're not just like your local businessman. Like they do.
And you're connected with these guys.
Connected, yeah.
How does it
They
feel?
just came back from China, which is pretty cool.
They just came back from China.
Yeah, they had like meetings out there.
Wow.
Yeah, because they're like in like the millions, so they do really well. They're obviously low key.
Yeah.
Like they don't want people to know their face and stuff. Like, they're more behind the scenes. So like me and my other partner Bash. Don't kill me. I don't know about that.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
But yeah, so they're foreign investors. They came to Canada with it to get their working visas. And then basically the government also invested into it as well. Gave them
so
grants.
Cool.
Yeah, like any business you start, you can get grants. There's so many opportunities out there for it. I'm sure like anyone that started a company gets them as well.
Yeah.
I've got a couple too for my business.
Yeah.
We're
looking into that ourselves, yeah.
Yeah, because it helps, right?
Of course.
Funding helps.
Of course.
Yeah,
you need
sure.
all the funding when you're creating a system.
Yeah, because people say like money is not important, but money is important just like oxygen. If you don't have it, you can't utilize the things you want to get out of life, right? I don't think like the love of money is like the bad thing, I feel like, well, it is or it's not. It's up to you. It's what you do with it, right? Because it only like makes the person who has it reflection of who they really are, deep down inside. So if you're a good person, for myself, like I go to church on Sundays. I donate to a lot of charities. I give back. I don't just like keep the money and just have a crazy lifestyle. But like I feel like if you're a good person, you have money, you'll do good things with it. If you're a bad person, you have money, you'll do bad things.
True.
I don't believe the root of money is all evil. I feel like what you do with it is what makes it. Yeah.
So let me ask you this about when it comes to business. What do you think it takes to get to the next level? Is it having the money, or is it having the network? What's more important?
I think the most important thing is the mentorship.
The mentorship.
The mentorship's the biggest. Because when I've been in the business since I was 15, right?
Yeah.
So I'm 28 now.
Yeah.
So that's 13 years. But I never seen the money until I went to Miami and met a mentor out there. So there's a guy in Miami. His name is Julio. He's a Spanish guy. He runs all the Spanish Latino events out there, and he's also a club owner and operator. He works for one of the biggest marketing companies that does hospitality in Miami, which is really huge. And he owns like a few clubs. He does really well for himself. I met him like a few times. I was on his podcast too. And like once I started to meet him and learn from him and get consulting and like let him help me in my business, like to see like where I'm at and where I want to go, like that did 360.
How do you find one of those? I want one.
You just ask someone like who's in your industry and who you want to be like, you know?
Yeah.
So
I'm still looking.
You're still looking at
taking hires.
I don't think you need any though. You're doing really well for yourself.
No. I'm always trying to do better, but I appreciate that.
No, but I feel like mentorship, like it helps you save a lot of time because the mistakes like he made, I could like not make those. Try to avoid it. Yeah. So like he told me things that I didn't know about, and like I saved a lot of money and time learning from what he told me. So I think mentorship is huge.
Wow.
And you get to know their network. For example, Feta, he's another promoter. He's a bit older.
Yeah.
But basically, when I met my mentor in Miami, I was working for Feta at the time. And then I ended up branching off on my own and started like my own company, did my own thing. And he I used his network because he introduced me to the club owners I know now and who I work for now for many years. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have that contact. And I probably wouldn't be at the venues that I've been at, you know? So like, I feel like having a mentor, having the network, it all goes in full effect, right?
Yeah. Do you believe in luck?
No, I believe in hard work.
Hard work?
Yeah. And the right timing as well. But everything is calculated, right? Like, you know when you're about to make a move and you have to make it at a certain time, because if you make it at the wrong time, it might not be the right move. For example, when I was in school, if I didn't drop out, I wouldn't be where I am today. If I went to school, finished it, I'd probably be like working a job right now.
What do you think?
I was studying marketing at the time.
Marketing?
Yeah.
Well, that probably could have still helped you what you're doing now.
For sure, yeah. But I still take courses, which is good too.
You still take courses?
I still take
Send me when you do those. I
got you.
Yeah. I'm trying to learn.
Seminars are big too.
Seminars?
Love those.
Yeah.
I need to go to some of
Podcasts.
those. Yeah.
Books.
Yeah, that's true. Talk to me about extravaganza, because you said you had like someone blowing fire in their mouths and all these crazy stuff happening with that. Talk to me about that.
So I travel a lot. My favorite place to go is like the States, because it's kind of similar to here, but just a little bit better in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's why we're all moving to Miami, New York, Vegas. But I've been to Vegas many times, and basically when I went there, I go to like get the experience and bring it to Toronto that we don't have. So one of the experience I seen was like I always see billboards everywhere, but it wasn't. But it was promoting DJs though, like you know, like big DJs in Vegas, like they sell out clubs, and basically these DJs were on the billboards, and I'm like, yo, that's a pretty cool idea. If I like did a birthday and put myself on the billboard, which is what I took back and came to Toronto with, which is pretty dope experience.
That's it.
Because it kind of like made my brand bigger.
Of course.
Being on the billboard, and I was the only person to do that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's dope, you know?
Yeah. How much is a billboard?
So it varies. So it could vary from like 3,000 to 10,000.
How do you get a company to get that? Because you said you got a sponsor for it. Yeah, put me on.
I got you.
Bro.
So my boy Nick Era, he owns a billboard company.
Yeah.
He does. I'm pretty sure he got Drake on a billboard too. Obviously Drake didn't need to.
Yeah.
But he's just a plug in the city.
Oh, okay.
Everyone goes to this guy. Like he's huge. Like he does like Dundas Square, like all those big spots. And Six Buzz used them too, like a lot of people. He's pretty dope. So he'll basically tell you like the price points and where you could put it. He has every location in Canada. He can even get you in the States and like other parts of the world.
Wow.
He's super connected.
Okay.
So he just told me like, hey, this is the locations we have. This is the price. Tell me your budget and I'll make it happen.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had Snowlore, one of my sponsors. And then the club sponsored it as well. Because it's obviously good to like get other funding. So you don't have to put up all your money. Because if you put up all your money, you're going to make less money at that event.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like called penny pinching.
Exactly.
So like if you have less money going into it, you have more to invest in the party.
Yeah.
All
right. I want to ask you this. How do events make money? Because sometimes it's easy for me to see the money. Sometimes it's not. You're charging like, let's say, okay, we did a Pancakes and Booze event, which is like an art show. They do it in different cities and stuff. I think the tickets are.
Is that like a brand?
Yeah, that's a brand. So they're charging like $10 for the tickets. Is it just the liquor where they're making the real money? Like, how do these events really profit to hire security to really operate?
The promoter or the club owner?
The club owner.
The club owner sees the back.
Actually, or the promoter. Actually, promoter. Let's go
promoter. Okay, so for me, for example, depends on the deals you get. So the deals is the most important thing. So obviously, you want to make the best deal out of it so that you reap the benefits. So for example, if you're doing your own event, I would assume
like for us, like we're trying to do a game event. Sorry.
Okay, so you're charging tickets, right?
Yeah, let's say we're charging like $20 for tickets.
So obviously you want to have 100% in the door, so the door is yours, 100%, and then obviously you want the venue to make money, so you can make money back from the venue. So you'll take a percentage of sales. So your deal goes from taking the full door. So let's say, how many people is it?
Let's say 200.
So 200, if you charge them $10, that's $2,000, or if you charge them 20, that's 4,000. That's all in your pocket. And then let's say the sales does like 10, 20,000.
And for liquor?
You take a kickback of that, 10%, 20%, whatever it is. And then now you're kind of doubling your profit.
But if we're doing a game night, how are we organizing? Like, let's say we're having like games, like people doing activities and stuff. Like, how do we?
You could probably do fundraisers. You could probably do not fundraisers, raffles.
Raffles.
Yeah.
So charge them.
Yeah. Because I went to a golf tournament that Snowlore sponsored, and they had this huge raffle, and like people are putting like hundreds of dollars to win things, and there was also money too, but it was a charity thing as well. Some guy won like $2,500, gave it straight to charity.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And I guess product too, because we have a card game.
Nice.
We have a drinking card game.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll give you one.
Are we gonna play this today, or?
Is it here?
Oh.
I should have brought it. It's up. We have them, but
nice.
we will play it.
So you play with other people?
Yeah. We play with our guests.
I'm down to like take it.
Yeah. We got you, man. We got you. It's like 51 questions. We have scenarios, things you got to do. So it's based on like the amount of people you have, though.
Okay.
So like,
how
let's
many
say it's a
people
group of like, it depends on your group.
Okay.
It's based on your group. So like, if you have 6 people, the person who draws the card, they're going to be the lead. So their opinion won't go towards the scenario, I guess.
Yeah.
So then the 5 people have to answer, and based on their answers, one person has to do the scenario.
Is it the card that you look at, and then the person is trying to tell you what it is?
So you pick up a card and you read the question. So the question could be like, have you ever sent nude photos?
Yeah.
And then depending on if the group says yes or no, that will determine who does the scenario.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty cool.
Sick.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Players Play. We just named it after what we already have.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, we might have to change that one.
No, but it goes with your brand, right?
Yeah, we didn't have no cool name for it specifically. Yeah.
I think Players Play is a cool name.
No. Players Play is lit, but like usually like people would separate their product from like
from the brand.
Yeah, because like I don't know if you guys heard of Full Send. You know Full Send, Neck Boys?
They don't have the seltzer as Full Send.
Exactly.
They have it as Happy Dad.
Exactly.
Yeah, because what they said was they wanted that liquor brand to outlive them.
Exactly. That's what I was saying.
And to be bigger than what they are.
Exactly. So
and you don't have to know Nelk Boys to know
Happy Dad. Exactly. That's why I kind of wanted the card game to just be, let's say you don't even care about our podcast, but you just want to go play some cards like, with your friends. I kind of want the game to be a staple, but we're just starting it off. So
nice.
We're in our beta stage.
Wish you all the best.
Yeah, thanks. Moving on. I do want to talk about, obviously we have our other guest here as well.
Welcome.
But since you guys, you're in the club scene, you know.
I'm a club goer.
I see her everywhere I go.
So
I'm joking.
So we've connected you two intentionally.
Okay, nice.
And we just want to talk about some stuff that may have happened in the scene of being in the club and stuff like that. Like, what kind of crazy things have you guys experienced just being in the club scene and stuff like that?
And what do you think about the nightlife here in Toronto?
That too.
You go first.
What I think about the nightlife in
Yeah, you can
Toronto?
answer anyone first.
Or like if you want to share any experiences or maybe the craziest.
What I think about the nightlife in Toronto, I think it's diverse because a lot of communities are like all together. Like you don't just have a specific niche market. Wherever you go, so you're expected to see other people.
Yeah.
What I think about it, I think it's dope because of that same reason. Like if you go to like other parts of the world, it's just that like you'll stand out going there because like they don't have like people like from other parts of the world going, right?
Yeah.
So like I feel like the scene is getting a lot better.
Yeah.
There's better clubs to select to. Like everything is on King Street now, which is pretty cool. You have like new clubs coming up and they look amazing and I have a good time there. In terms of what goes down, a lot of crazy stuff goes down.
Is there anything you could speak on? Feel free to give us any of your stories.
You can tell us the club. Maybe just an experience.
Anything.
Actually, you go first, just so I can,
Yeah,
Introduce
your
yourself
thoughts?
and introduce yourself a little bit.
Hello, it's me, Lexi, or Alexia, whatever you guys prefer. I'm weird. Okay, anyways. Yeah, so I was not outside until December 2021. So like my club experience is definitely post-pandemic or towards the end of the pandemic, however
Same.
you want to phrase it.
Oh, you too?
Yeah, I was a late guy.
What about you?
No, I was going to body English.
Oh, okay, I forgot.
No, she was outside.
How do I not know you if you're going to body
I
English?
know. I did because when they showed me your profile, I was like, I've never seen him before.
Oh, that's crazy. Let's
Yeah.
go. Went to the place I used to start at.
That's
insane.
crazy.
She was probably I'm joking.
I'm not,
She was probably following me around from body English to now.
You've been tracking him the whole time?
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
I knew this day was going to come.
How old are you?
I just turned 27.
Oh, okay, so you're younger than me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to my parties then, for sure.
Probably. Yeah, honestly,
For
probably.
sure.
Small
Did you go to
world.
like the TNA parties?
Yeah.
Short shorts and shit.
Wow.
Yeah, like looking back at that, it's like
It was
hilarious.
probably.
Yo, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I just got over the whole like paying for an actual bottle and being like pitching. I didn't understand this game, bro.
It's hectic.
When I went to the club and the guy was like like whatever the numbers was, I was like, people buy this?
I know.
I couldn't understand
It's
this shit.
disgusting.
Yeah, that's crazy to
They're
me.
robbing, for sure.
Robbing. But I get it now.
Unfortunately, I'm
Kind
a
of.
part of that transaction.
I love it, though.
Yeah, you are.
I love it.
You are.
I love it, but-
I love it for you. I love it for you. I love it for you.
It's
And
a business, though.
you
but
do
you know,
give experience, though.
But you know
Yeah,
the
and
thing
it's
is,
good paying for the experience.
okay, a
Yeah.
bottle in the club. I mean, an LC bill might be a Casimi goes like $90, $100.
Mm-hmm.
At 44, it's $760 or $780.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
44 is that's how they're moving?
yeah, that's how they're moving. Yeah.
Holy! Is
But-
that the biggest club in Toronto?
It's not the biggest club like in capacity, but it's probably one of the top clubs.
Yeah,
though.
and they bring out a lot of talent. Like I feel like
Yeah,
whenever
they
the
do.
celebrities come,
Yeah.
like they're always
Like,
They
you know
always go there.
what?
yeah, they
They
always
kind
get
of-
them.
They kind of got their spin on it. Like they have their own vision of how a nightclub should operate in Toronto.
And they have
I
the
feel like
dancers too. Right?
they have
Like, they go
dancers.
voting.
They have that steam that always
it's
comes
fire.
up.
the
Yeah, that's pretty
smoke.
cool.
They have the smoke, the
Yeah.
confetti.
Yeah.
Like their experience is really dope because
Yeah.
you don't see that in Toronto. You don't get that.
You don't get
in
that.
Toronto.
You don't
But
get
if you
that.
go to like Miami, Vegas, you'll get that.
You'll get
Yeah.
that.
So that's why a lot of foreigners, when they come, they go to that club because they see like the pictures and the images.
Yeah,
But-
I did go there one time because shout out to Janae, my cousin. Her man, he's doing pretty good for himself.
Yeah,
so we
so
had a
you
little
took-
booth over there. So I got my little,
Yeah, you
my little
took
check,
it.
my little experience.
Yeah.
44?
Yeah.
You know what?
We
though?
went there. Remember with Demo?
Yeah, but that was after.
Oh, after.
You know what though?
Oh, okay.
44 though, like
And it wasn't good that night.
44 is pricey, but it comes with like what they bring out. Like it's not your average like a girl bringing a bottle. Like they make a show. They make your money's worth. To be honest.
Yeah.
They come out in the cars.
They come
It
with
was a
the
good
cars.
experience. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
They have the
cars.
girls standing
It's
like
cute.
sitting
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
guy.
My friend T just got a job there. One of my friends just got a job. Bottle
Oh,
service.
that's sick. Wow.
T.
Tea?
Sick. So are we gonna be going there now?
Yes,
or-
we have to go support her.
All right,
yes,
best.
yes.
All
Shout
right.
out my baby
Yeah,
T.
shout out
No,
for
but they make it like worth your money.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
like you're paying $7.60 and you're getting ripped off.
Yeah. Is there
You know?
fake liquor in the alcohol? I'm joking. I already asked that.
What do you say? What do you say?
He said
yeah.
he said no comment.
You know what? You know what? Clubs do what they do.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not gonna say where it happened, but there was a night where I saw there was an actual, like what I paid for wasn't what I paid for. I won't say where though, because
Yeah, no, for sure.
I could get myself in
Yeah,
serious
yeah.
trouble. But
Off camera,
I'll be
off camera.
honest with that.
Yeah.
Like I actually bought something that was really expensive.
Wow.
And it wasn't what it was. I was like, I was so drunk I didn't even take it in.
Because that's how they be doing it. Because you're like, they're not gonna read. Nobody's gonna know.
Yeah, that's
Yo, take this in. Like, we're drinking from the bottle, and these are like the most expensive bottles.
Wow.
Like, let's say Azul.
Yeah.
Most expensive, right?
Yeah.
Tequila, and it wasn't Azul.
That's crazy.
First of all, Azul's Reposado.
How'd you find out?
Okay, take this in. Azul's Reposado.
Yeah.
This was Blanco. I'm drinking it from the bottle, so I don't see the color of the alcohol.
Yeah.
Until a girl's like, "Can I have a shot?"
Yeah.
And I poured the shot, and it was white. I'm like, it was clear. I'm like, wait a minute, it's not Azul. I was like, yo, what the hell? Like, that was crazy.
Did you try to get a refund? Like, or
I didn't get a refund. I just got like 4 new Azul bottles.
Oh, so you got the real thing.
Oh, they said, okay, what's that? You the real thing?
Yeah.
So what, did they have an explanation about like how could this have happened? Did they even try to explain?
They're
it?
like,
Just kinda
you know what
gave it
they
up?
said? They're like, you know, we feel bad that you think we gave you fake alcohol. And
they paid victim.
They paid victim. Wow. I'm like, but it's white though. It's not even Reposado.
Yeah.
Like if you gave me a Casamigos Reposado and it's Blanco, I know it's Blanco.
Right.
Because you see the white.
Yeah.
But it's not been like that color, right? So I was like, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
I can't even say when it happened because everybody would know.
Would know what it is?
Don't worry.
It's okay. It's okay. We're not trying to get you canceled. But
yes, tell us about
Lexi,
your thoughts on the club life,
in
Toronto, and any crazy experiences.
Yeah,
I'm sure she has some good
Dubai.
stories.
But yeah, like I was saying, my experience with the club scene is post-pandemic, so I can't really talk about what the clubs look like pre-COVID at all. I was not outside. I was very much inside. But then when I started to go outside, my first experience was actually after a first date.
Wait, what?
Wow.
Yeah.
Can we get into that?
Went on a date, eh?
I gotta be careful with
Would you go on a blind date?
I would.
Okay,
Yeah.
also, I have one more thing I have to insert real quickly. We have, I'll mute this so they won't hear it.
Dodgeball's one of my favorite movies. I don't know if you guys have watched that.
I did watch that.
You watched that?
It was good.
Hilarious.
I didn't watch it,
That's you guys should watch
It's
it.
a
That's
funny
my
movie.
it's my
What's
type of
that
humor.
actor that's in it?
Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
And Vince Vaughn and those guys.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's have you guys watched Napoleon Dynamite?
Yes. You didn't watch it?
No.
Okay.
What?
Don't ask. I don't know
I
any
mean,
actors.
It's like-
that's an OG movie.
We'll say like Soul Plane, but like very
nerdy.
light, bright humor.
Soul Plane's a classic.
Light bright. I get you. I get where you're going.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
No cream, just milk.
Gotcha.
So yeah, my first time it was EFS, which is hilarious. I'll explain why that's hilarious in a bit. And it was after a first date, and we went to EFS.
Oh, no.
I just kept hindsight 2020. It would have been cheaper to really buy a bottle, but we're literally just like buying shots, vibing. It's just like the two of us. And the next night, this was date 2. Went to
With the same
EFS. Yeah,
Wait. Rate date 1 from
was-
1 to 10.
it was great.
It was great.
A great date.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then the next night was date 2, but it wasn't like pre-planned. Like it just happened. He was like, I'm going to go to work. I'll like, let me know what you're doing later. Went to Harbor 60 again the second night.
Holy.
And then,
He took you to Harbor 60?
Twice?
But we ate.
Twice?
yeah.
Of money.
Twice. So you went back to back.
Yeah.
2 days in a
That's my
row.
favorite-
Wait.
That's my
he
favorite
brought you
restaurant.
there- He brought you there 2 days in a
Even
row?
I never did that before.
Good for you.
I haven't even did that either. Well,
I went there a
don't
few
do that.
times, but I didn't go back to back.
Back
Like,
to back,
That's
yeah.
intense, you know?
You have to try it.
I have
So
to
wait.
try it. Have you done it?
No, I haven't.
But
Not like Harbor. I've been to I one time went to Harbor 60 and the next
I'm
day
sure you went
to
to Harbor 60 and
Chris.
STK.
Nervy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you just didn't go back to back like her.
But she went
Yeah,
back
no,
to back.
and not
I
with the
know.
same guy either. No.
That's serious.
That's definitely
But the
gonna be a
second
clip,
night,
'cause I never heard that in my life.
Yeah.
Come on.
The second night we went with like one of my other friends, and then he brought a friend. So I was like, hey guys, we're gonna go to EFS. At like the time I was like living at the One King downtown. Not for any reason other than the fact that I was living at the One King downtown. Just a disclaimer. Okay, so when we went back to the hotel, we brought like the food inside and we went to EFS. This night got blackout. I was like, I have videos of like me dancing on top of the
table.
the bottle service
Yeah.
thing there, and then we had like a couple other friends that were there, and it was a vibe. A guy I was actually talking to that I wasn't taking serious showed up with his dogs, and I was just like,
Awkward.
I will say the way I maneuvered that was very good because then, I didn't get caught. But then he proceeded to gaslight the shit out of me at the end of the night. But it's okay because he sucks. Sorry. But yeah, so like that was literally like my introduction. And then I just started going to EFS every weekend. And then the guy he knew a security guard at the front. I'm not going to say any names. And then from there, that was like my connection. And then the following weekend, one of my friends, shout out Pavin, was like, hey, like, do you want to come to Juliet? That was my first time inside there. And at the time, EFS was still 4 a.m. So Juliet closed at 2, walked along King Street. So I used to love to do that. Now I know
What day is this, by the way? Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Saturday. Yeah. So this was like, I know now it's not really safe to walk downtown by yourself, but I didn't give a shit. I'm just vibing. I was like sing to myself on the street. Who's gonna come bother me and a crazy lady singing in heels? And then
good thing it wasn't a bare feet. Sorry.
Yeah, thank God for that.
I would never.
Facts.
Don't ever take
Cass
your heels
hates
off.
the bare feet, by the way.
No.
You don't do it, right?
She's so against it.
Spray some numbing.
I don't care what you have to
on
do.
your
Taylor,
feet.
take that shit
Hug
off.
it.
No, don't.
And if your feet hurt that bad, it's time to go home. That's disgusting.
Amen to
Don't
that.
do
Have
it.
some decorum.
Yeah,
Oh,
some
man.
pride. Don't like that.
Remember when shame was a thing?
Yeah.
I missed those days.
Yeah.
But anywho, I forgot the story. I should add. The night that the 4 of us went to EFS, the line was long. Okay, I used to like carry cash with me all the time. I said, yeah, guys, I don't have patience for this. And I handed the guy $100.
Oh.
Skip the line, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then that night, so the following weekend when I went to Juliet, did the same thing at EFS, handed him $100. Like, there's a whole line of girls. The girl's like, can you come with me? No. And then that's how I made friends with all the security guards. Like, unfortunately, I am that girl who hugs every bouncer.
Did you see that meme? That meme?
That is me still.
Did you see that meme? Like, if she
Hugs.
no, yeah. What was it?
If she hugs every security guard, every bouncer, she's not the one for you, bro. She's really outside.
She's for
worry-
the streets.
no, it's not even that. Just worry about yourself, King.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right.
Nah, you don't even have to do that because then I ended up becoming the plug for like guys that wanted to go outside because it was never like that. I didn't know people. Like I'd be going to the clubs by myself. Deshae can attest to this.
Wait, you went to the club by yourself?
Like yeah, I used to go by myself.
Wait.
No, but
Yeah.
you know, but you're meeting people there, no?
Yeah, but
Oh, you're meeting people there.
But no, even
Wait, you're saying you're going there and you don't know
I would
anyone?
just go
You don't know anyone?
What we at? You're going to the club by yourself?
myself. Yeah.
And you don't know anyone, or you know people.
I just
Wait, do you know
I
people
knew
there?
security guards. I wanted to go to EFS again from the weekend before because like I had a good time, and then
Oh.
But you don't know anyone at the club and you're going.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then that's how I met. I know.
I would never do that.
It's okay, but like
But you know what? You can meet people
I'll
there.
explain the background to that.
Yeah.
Like, I had just gotten out of a very long-term relationship.
Okay.
I had a baby with this guy and stuff, and I had my son the very first week of lockdown. We went into lockdown, I believe, on the 13th or the 14th. I had my son on the 21st of March.
Oh, nice.
So I just was very like to myself, didn't really speak to anybody like at all, very much living in my head rent free, just like in a very dark and toxic way. So solitude was where I thrived most. So I just got used to doing everything by myself. Like I kind of got out of that hole by myself, got out of the relationship by myself, did a lot of stuff by myself. So going outside to me, it just was like another thing. It's like going to the grocery store by yourself or going on a drive by yourself. But in me doing that, that's how I made all of the connections. Because like these promoters would be like, oh, like she's just by herself. I come in the booth, I'll say hi to everybody. Like I'm not stush, Shout out Tina.
We love women like you.
Yeah, like that's how I met people. And then I made a network, and then I would get invited out, or I would still go to the club by myself and meet people there. But shout out EFS. EFS was my introduction into the club scene, and unfortunately got shot inside of there. Yep.
You said shot?
Yes.
Sorry, wait.
Yes.
Hold on. Can you explain that? Like
I can't go too much into it.
So, okay. Wait,
Sorry.
EFS?
Yeah.
I think I heard of a shooting that day.
Yeah, on King and Bathurst.
Wait, you...
This whole time, is EFS the name of the club?
Yes.
Yeah, EFS,
Okay, I'm
yeah.
not familiar at all.
It's it's right at King and Bathurst, directly across the regulars.
Sorry, say again.
You're
Wait,
not
where
familiar
did
with EFS?
No.
Oh, okay.
Where did you get shot?
What is
Inside the
around
club.
there?
No, where, like, on your body?
And my arm.
Wow.
So like
How-
inside the club, and there's a shooting inside there.
Walk us through that feeling.
I didn't know I got shot.
That's crazy.
didn't know
I'll
you
say
got
that.
shot?
No, I didn't.
That's what my mom said when she got shot.
I'll tell you guys the story. Yeah, it's
both
true.
my parents got shot.
It's
This is a true story.
Yeah?
Both my parents got shot, and both my parents. Actually, I won't say too much about my parents. Just forget it.
Wait.
They're good people though. Like it's just wrong time.
wrong place, wrong time.
Come on.
That's my heart.
Yeah. I didn't tell you about that.
Oh my god.
I guess it's news. Everyone's
so sad.
Sorry, Cass.
That is sad. Yeah.
Don't cry. I'm
That
making
is
you cry.
sad.
No, stop. I'm sorry.
But to keep it condensed, my best friend and I were at a party at Sorry Not Sorry. I ended up at EFS at 2:30. She wanted to go home, so I parked across the street. You know where the Regulars building is? There's like underground.
Yeah.
So I parked there.
Mm-hmm.
Was in a rush to get inside because I was meeting some friends that were like there. Left my phone inside the car because I knew she was gonna Uber. I knew nothing was gonna happen. You know, like you can lock the car door, like the car from inside, and then just close it. So went inside, got into the club. I want to say it was like 2:30. Shooting happened like a little after 3 or maybe even like 3:30. I know I wasn't in there for long. We went inside. It was me and like 3 of like one of my guy best friend and then his 2 friends were there, and we were in the promoter's booth. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what happened. I just remember just like absolute pandemonium and then like crawling on the ground and like these 2 girls pulling me. Yeah, it was an experience. I didn't know I got shot. I still like don't have like full feeling in my hand. Like I have permanent nerve damage and stuff. I don't want to talk about the person that passed, like RIP. That was a very sad situation. But like one of my most vivid memories from that is the song playing when I got shot. Like to this day, I can't listen to the song. Like
What's the song?
It's a Lil Baby track. Yeah.
Shout out my label. That's me.
No. God forbid. Okay. No.
Oh, sorry. Wait, and I'm here singing
Actually,
the song. My bad.
I don't even know if it's a Lil Baby song. No, is it? I think it's 42 Doug and Future.
Just forget the song.
Yeah.
Forget the song. I'm sorry.
I think, but no, it's okay. It's good.
I felt bad.
I think
No,
it might
it's
be
okay.
a Little Baby song.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't.
You were there?
I heard about it though.
Yeah.
I reached out to her.
Oh.
So
I heard about it too, by the way.
Yeah.
Now that you're telling me.
yeah.
That's
It
crazy
was-
that happened.
yeah.
That's actually crazy. I can't believe that.
Remember, like, so they rushed us to St. Mike's, and like one of my like very, very, very like close friends now, he was the promoter. He ran to my car, and it's crazy. The Uber surge was way too high, so my best friend ended up staying in the car, and then the promoter was like bang. I think he was like bang on the window, or he's like, I need Lexi's phone, and then she's like, oh, what happened? He's like, oh, she got shot. And then he ran back, and then he gave me the phone. I'm like, I'm screaming my son's name, and then this bitch that decided that she was gonna record the shooting inside.
No way.
No way.
That's crazy.
Like,
How do people have time to record in the
talking
moments?
about how
that's
she's been in a
madness.
shooting before and she wants to bring awareness to gun violence.
How is that awareness?
I want to say bullying works, guys, because the way we were on her ass to take that TikTok video down and that Instagram video down, like she's one of those like performative people, had like Black Lives Matter links and indigenous links and all of these things. Like, you're not promoting anything.
Yeah.
All of these news outlets picked up the video. You may not know it's me on the floor, but you can see me and the other guy that was basically dead on the ground. Why would you post that? Like, that's how people knew that there was a shooting, because of the video outside of, like the news outlets.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was at St. Mike's and they brought him in, and then they put like a curtain between us, and then they're asking if like I can feel my arm, and I can't. I just remember like hearing what they were saying and all of that. They like cut my clothes off of me. It was a very, very
Traumatic.
very, very traumatic experience. And then I thought re-emerging myself back into the club scene would have been a good idea. Hindsight again is 2020. There's so many signs from God telling me that like my outside days were meant to be short-lived, because the amount of hard lessons I've learned, friendships I've lost, friendships I've gained and then lost from being outside, a lot of that was just chasing temporary dopamine. But yeah, it was funny because, Door 3 is open the next day. Shout out Door 3. Those are my guys. Shout out, Con, Steph, and Ron and Johnny. I had friends who ended up going out the next night even though they said that they were going to stay inside.
Wow.
To this day, they'll never admit it, but you know, people talk too much. They were outside, you know, not posting it, which is crazy because
the next day.
One of your very close friends literally just got shot somewhere 300 meters down the street, and you feel like it's appropriate to go outside. Never checked on me, never did any of that, but you know, a lot of positive things came out of that, like understanding that solitude doesn't mean I need to be around people or chasing fake community. Realizing my relationship with alcohol definitely wasn't the healthiest. Learning how much of a high functioning depressive person I actually was. I couldn't not be outside at least 4 times a week.
Wow.
You know? I would say I was never outside for free. You know?
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was just outside for vibes, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah.
But it just like it got to a point where like everybody knew they were gonna see me at Ultraviolet on Tuesday. They knew they were gonna see me at EFS Thursday through Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, those are like the only 2 spots I really frequented.
Yeah.
I brought so many people into like those clubs and like that environment. And obviously when like EFS closed, you knew you were going to see me at door 3. So, you know, getting shot sucked, but the relationships that I was able to build with some of like the club owners, promoters, even like staff of these clubs was amazing. Got introduced to 44 one night. Staff there is wonderful. Arguably like one of like the best hospitality teams in the city outside of door 3. Like just amazing from entry to exit, you know. But yeah, I've been bottled in the club.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
By a man?
No, by a female.
Wow.
Yeah, my experiences in the club are crazy. Just like girls throwing drinks on me.
Wow.
Which is also why you'll never catch me outside on my ones ever. I'm not going nowhere by myself. Someone's in the car with me going somewhere. Like, no.
That's honestly, when you said that you remember, so that's what like my first thought. Like, I just feel like sometimes the
That's
scenes
dangerous.
are like so. Especially like some of the girls, like I hate to attack women because you know I'm a girl, but like sometimes it's so catty. Like there's so much competition. I feel like in the club, like you could just accidentally brush a girl and she's ready to rumble. Like you know, like it's so that's when you see one. Like I would trust me. Like I've never don't try me because I was provoked that night. But like I've never been because I'm always like have to be prepared for that. You know that instance of like someone ready to fight or like a girl you have like issues with on the street and then she sees like you know that's the first thing kids do. I'm like wow you like.
I'm not about to go out here and like list promoters, but like. You know, there's other
say the names. I'm joking.
I can't still.
We don't get messy like that.
But like I'll say like Deshae for example, like I met Deshae on a night out. I was like I hope I was, you know, like I'm very personable and I'm polite.
Is that true, Deshae? Don't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good.
No, I am.
Okay.
I feel like I am.
I don't think I would. I think if I seen her and I'm on the pod, I'd be like, guys, I think I have to go.
But like. Again, like I'd be going outside by myself in the promoter's booth, talking to the promoters, or just like be sitting there. And I don't know what it is with girls where it's like, I don't know if you're fucking the promoter or like you have a thing for him, but the attitude I get when I'm trying to say hi, offer a shot, just say like, I like your outfit. God forbid, eh? I'm so sorry I told you that your Shein dress was it. My apologies.
Or that your tag is sticking out.
Or that your lace is lifting.
Can you imagine?
Oh, no.
You know, but or not even that, like, you know, and then the other demographic of girls that go outside that just try to like overtake the booth. Like I understand that this is who, you know, you're with a lot, but like you don't need to be sloppy. You don't need to like push me out. We're all here for the same purpose and like that's to have a good time.
Yeah.
But again, that has a lot to do with the people that I surrounded myself with because I found myself being very, 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 very confrontational for no reason.
Was it the liquor?
No, because I would be sober and I'd still want to beat someone up, you know? But it's like...
You got hands?
I do. But unfortunately, at this time, I can't really comment past that because I love my life and my job.
Fair enough.
But one thing I will say is I'm trying to enter my 26th year with like no more fights. Okay. I'm not proud to say that like I've been in fights as a whole mother and like a grown ass woman, but like one thing I'll never do is like let someone try me. You could
we know
play with your mama, play with your pussy, play with traffic, don't play with me. Just
God
as
damn. Players play.
Players play every day. But yeah, you know, and I don't really recommend people who don't like know themselves or have no sense of direction to be in the club scene, especially in Toronto. Toronto is a shadow city. A lot of the things people say where it's very hard to make it, it's very hard to succeed past a certain threshold. If you're not creating like your own lane, you're going to get stuck. And even then after a certain point.
What do you think about us?
I think you guys definitely have the ability to market yourself and take the podcast past just being a Toronto podcast.
Really? That means a lot. That means a lot.
You know?
Thank you.
Just, you know, like those podcasts that just be on here just talking about fuckery all the time.
Yeah.
I don't believe. All right.
Thank
Did
you,
anyone hear that?
Yeah. No, I thought that was.
At least she doesn't have a microphone.
Right? I just like. I'll say something.
Yeah.
I was very hesitant to come on the podcast because I've only ever been on one, you know, and like that was one of like, my very good friends' podcasts because I believe mic accessibility it's at an all-time high.
Absolutely.
Purchasing mics is the real pandemic. Podcasts are the real pandemic, not COVID. Just because you can purchase a mic doesn't mean you need to get behind it and speak. And a lot of these podcasts I feel are clout driven because you're looking, you have the same guests on there all the time. You're not talking about any sort of substance, just shits and giggles and
just trying to go viral.
There's no substance. And I feel like people have lost the true meaning and the true essence behind a podcast.
I agree.
You know? Like the podcasts I listen to are mindfulness podcasts or how to elevate or people that have been in the industry that I'm in, for example, like, you know, business podcasts and things of that sort where I can listen to it and I'm gaining something. I don't gain anything. No shade to y'all, you know, I'm proud, you know, keep doing your thing, but like 95% of these podcasts in the city, and that's their intent. Their intent is to get 1 million views on an Instagram reel. Like their intent is to go viral on TikTok, but like after that, what are you doing? You can really only talk about girls in the club so long. You can really only talk about taking home a ting or doing this, that, and the third and selling drugs or whopping and set up tings and et cetera, for so long. And then there's no grammar, there's no vibes, not even vibes, it's just there. Just, you know,
No,
but
that's true.
you have to have, I feel like vision boards are really the key to success.
Yeah.
You know, you have to know where you want to take it. And as long as you have that end goal there, the direction or the path along that, you know, you might come across a couple roadblocks and it's like, okay, shit, maybe I have to go back to the drawing board. How can I get back to this end goal? But Toronto is not your be all end all. And I say that to everybody. Whether you're in Miami, you're in LA, you're in Vegas or New York, your city, first of all, is not who you're supposed to be catering to. That's not your market. It's not.
Really?
It's not.
Why do you say that?
No. Because the same people that will put you on will be the same people that will evil eye you or the same people that will be like, oh, well, you guys think you're too good for us now. Nope. Your market needs to be, sounds so like cliche, but like the world, like, you know, Players Play podcast, you can brand yourself as people who come on here and like talk about relationships and lifestyle. So when you're on TikTok, sure, you can tag Toronto, but like your initial tags will be relationships, relationship talk or lifestyle talk, things of that sort. Relationships don't just exist in the realm of Toronto. And again, like this is a shadow city. That's why these rappers leave. That's why these R&B
What do you mean
artists,
shadow city?
like it's just dark.
It is.
Have you ever heard of people like going to LA? Like they'll move, like especially like within the States, they'll move to LA and then they have to go back to their hometown. It's Toronto. I don't know when it happened. I don't know how it happened, but it's a very dark city. There's a lot of positive in the city. 100%. Like, you know, there's a lot of people, you know, doing like their own thing with events now outside of the King Street clubs, outside of like the main clubs on Queen Street, you know, that are really paving the way to make nightlife fun again and make nightlife a safe environment, because that's a very like huge thing. These clubs really don't give a shit about our safety. If a man's gonna drop 20K on a booth, yeah, sure, all you guys can walk in here with a stick. They're not keeping in mind certain hoods should not be in the same place at the same time. Those things they don't care about. At the end of the day, we're dollars to them. How can they increase their profit margin? How can they make the most out of a night? You know, and you have a lot of people in the city now who again are trying to like pave the way to make outside fun. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard of like slow jams.
I heard of that.
My friend Mucho and Toku, they're doing this party called like Steady. They've been doing it for.
I just had Mucho on.
Shout out Mucho.
Mucho, the guy on IG, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He started doing events, right?
We're dropping that episode next.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, episode 40.
He's been hosting for...
He comes out to my birthday every year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
I love Mucho. Mucho's cool.
Good people.
Cool, yeah.
And he's been like doing it for a while, you know, but now he's actually like hosting his own things.
Yeah.
Can never go to a party that Mucho hosts and like not feel safe. And that's something for me that I prioritize. For the reason why my ass do not be outside. I do not go outside unless there's a purpose. And there's never any purpose. Because I'm going to come outside, get drunk, and then what? I just feel like a lot of the people that I'm around or that I used to be around or that are in the scene just don't help me elevate in any way, shape, or form.
How do we make it out? Give us some advice since you seem like you know some stuff here.
Honestly, think like I went through a very like major friendship breakup that then turned into losing a larger group of friends, realizing that I'm here like looking out for people that would not piss on me if I was on fire. And it was really like that moment of self-realization, like, what am I chasing or what am I getting out of this? I'm here thinking making friends in the club, these are going to be like my lifelong friends, and then they're doing shiesty shit, which people that you meet in the scene, that's what they do, you know? They're only around you to level up or get your contacts. And then once they no longer need you, they get rid of you high and dry. And then just kind of experiencing something pretty dark at the beginning of this year. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is just not fun. I've been outside like a handful of times this year. My face is just stank. I'll still smile at people, like, you know, go out and support when my people throw events. But in my head, I'm just like, damn, like Harry Potter right now would be so lit to watch. Or I could just be in my bed staring at the ceiling and like having way more fun. And then there's like this intense pressure to drink, because if you don't drink, you're not fun. Yeah. There's been so many times I've been outside, not had an ounce of liquor in my system, and I've been way more fun than when I've been drunk. But I'm like, they call me Lex Luthor, but like, that's me. I'm the girl, I'm shaking ass, I'm blessing the bottle around my head. And it's like, unfortunately, like,
that's the famous, everyone does it in the club now because of you.
Yep.
You started that,
yeah. I don't know if I did, but
I think you did.
I think you did.
In Toronto, at least.
Yeah, you started a wave on
everyone does that at the club now.
I noticed that. I actually noticed that.
People don't even hand me the bottle without a flash in my face. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Damn. And then it's like, you know, just taking very big shots. Like, I don't respect my liver. But like, again, I think it's a phase everybody goes through. It's like, you know, when you're high school, you know, you're sneaking out. Okay. I don't know if everyone goes through that, but like, you know, you just on some like bodness. And then you grow out of that phase. My clubbing thing was a phase, but I was a late bloomer. This is something that I should have experienced at like 18, 19, 20. Because like, again, when I was younger, I had a fake ID. 16, 17, had no business being at government. None at all. Shout out to 42. Showtime Saturdays. Had no business being in there, 18 years old. Man. But
I want to touch back on the dark city thing though, man, because he's doing it out of the city. There must be some ways we can really do it. I always tell Cass, I don't even think about the city and like just make that my end all be all. Like, I'm very much, very, very strategic in how we move and like 100%. What we want to do in our goals. Like, we can talk about it off camera. But it is sad that you got to do so much just to get out of this place and like really do something big, especially when you have good stuff. I feel like Toronto lets it die down.
But there is people that are doing big things in Toronto.
100%.
Yeah. But she's saying it's a dark city though. So like, why do you feel like
Shadow City?
Shadow 100%. City. Yeah. Like, what do you feel about that? Like,
well, there's a lot of people I look up to that do what I do, but more on the club operating side. For example, Charles Caboth, Mickey Manish, Peter from Marble and Mademoiselle. Patrick Marzouk from Silent H, like the list goes on. So many great hospitality entrepreneurs that are doing super well. They don't have to go to Miami, Vegas, open up over there. They open up here, and like they're giving us like the best experience that we could possibly have. And they have like an empire, like in this business that I'm in. Because I just relate to people that I want to be like, you know, like I'm not gonna relate to someone that does something completely different. Like all these guys I look up to, and they're doing super well for what they do.
Okay, well, do you feel like as a podcast you have to leave, like us?
As a podcast,
we're on the internet.
Have you heard of Money Buys Happiness?
Of course. Of course.
Well, they left.
I heard
they
about
got their deal with Full Send.
It's no longer.
I know they came back, but I'm just saying they did leave, and they did blow up after that. By having Cal on. And then they had other like really big guests.
What do you think? So you feel like we do have to leave, or?
I feel like it depends who you bring on. Like if you could get people to fly in, you don't have to leave, right?
But you gotta get those.
But you have to get them to like come to the city.
Yeah.
They had to leave the city. They went to LA, they went to Miami, they went to New York to have all these popular guests to go on their show. They had to leave, but they could have also had those people come to Toronto because they have like their own area that they do the podcast out of, right?
Yeah.
So those people could just.
We don't have no breakfast club though. Have you noticed that? Like we don't have no.
Yeah, they
one
stole
entity.
Flow from us.
Flow's gone. Yeah, we have no one entity.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
that,
true.
like where people.
But you could create it, right?
Oh, that's
yeah.
What's
right.
that?
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
What's his name is on? Isn't it Much? Isn't it
Much
TV?
music?
Isn't
not mucho. What's
Not you forget.
Quay? You're talking about
Yes.
Quay? Yes, Quay.
What's he on? Is it Much?
Much music.
That's kind of like. Is that like a
That
breakfast
is-
or is it
That is
not
like a
so
breakfast.
much?
That is like a Toronto breakfast club. But we just need more. I feel like,
But
you know?
Toronto is like one of the best cities in the world. Like,
Then why is it like
that's
this?
what I'm saying. Yeah.
And support wise, because I feel lack of support is big out here in the city.
Again,
Where do we get real support? Because we don't get real support out here, but we do actually. A lot. People come up to us all the time. It's love, but like will they buy stuff for real? Like will they really support?
that's the
I
issue.
don't
It depends on the person though.
Yeah.
For me, like I support so many businesses.
Same.
And if someone has a price, I'm not gonna negotiate.
Yeah.
That's their
Same.
price. Like that's
Same.
disrespectful.
Same.
When you buy designer and you go to these places, you're not asking them for a discount.
That's what I'm saying.
So if someone
Why
has
is it like that?
that's what I'm
Even
sa-
our event, we did a Players Play event. Everything was free.
Wow.
And people were literally like hesitant to pay $2 for a raffle because you said raffles. That's why I'm asking questions because I'm really trying to, fix my stuff and make sure we're on the right track.
Yeah.
But like these people are like hesitant to buy a raffle, and we're giving away an Apple Watch.
You know what they say though? They say
Like, what's wrong with these people?
strangers support you more than friends.
I've noticed that, and I've even had there was a guy I had on. I put him on a date. I'm not even saying names, but I was just like, he came to my event. I was just like, yo, like get like a raffle,
You
get
gotta
like.
invite me to these events.
Oh, I
man.
got you.
I'll
We're gonna
come
do it.
out.
No,
Yeah.
I'm happy I met you.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of people in Toronto actually do. I was so happy when when she first showed me you, I didn't know if it was real. Because like a lot of people in Toronto, you don't know what's really real.
Yeah.
But I started listening to your podcast you did with the guy, and I was like, no, this guy is the real deal. So I really respect that. And even Tafari, like, there's not much people I can.
I look up to that guy. He's doing some.
I look up to him
crazy
too, but I don't have
things.
enough friends like in these.
Yeah.
I
You
need
gotta
more friends that
surround
are
yourself
like that.
to like. You gotta surround yourself with like. I have like different groups of friends. Like I read a book where you have a different groups of friends. Like ones that are like more above you. Like,
I need that.
successful, and then there's ones that are your level, and then there's ones that like you help. Like you mentor too, just to like keep the flow going,
Keep the
right?
flow,
Because
keep
you
it
have to give
motivated.
back too.
Yeah.
Like there's young kids coming up, like a lot of kids. Like during COVID, I was talking to my old high school because my teacher, he reached out to me. He said like, they're having a lot of trouble in the school, especially like in the black communities. They get into a lot of fights. They don't really care about school. They just do the most craziest shit, right?
Yeah.
So I talked to them like, yo, listen, like you guys have to like take this thing seriously, because it's not even education, but like where you see yourself going,
Yeah.
Because you could like slip and slop and like fall off
I
very
slipped a
quickly.
couple times, yeah.
Especially when you're young and you might not be able to get back.
I
on your
know.
feet.
I literally was living that a few weeks ago. I was getting so overwhelmed.
Because I regret some things that I did in high school.
Yeah?
Like I wish like I was more serious, and like I think I would be a lot ahead than from before.
Yeah.
So like,
Same,
I tell them this thing, like I tell them my story, because like I had a single mother that took care of me. Like my mom's a teacher. She went to university. I was raised by my great grandparents.
Oh, yeah.
So like I didn't really have a father figure at the time. So obviously I was caught up in that life, doing bad shit. So I tell them like these teachers are here to help you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't see them as your enemy, because like when you're young, you're wild.
Yeah.
You're with your friends. You skip school. You smoke weed.
Yeah.
You do the most. You don't listen to your teachers. You're like, I don't really care what they have to say.
Yeah.
But you should though, because they're here to like help you learn.
Yeah.
And
No, it's
really-
true.
Yeah.
It's true. No, I wish I had certain fundamentals and just habits, because it's really habits, right? And environment,
habits,
what you see when you're young.
Yeah.
I could have been like a perfect human, bro. If I just
Everything
how I-
happens for a reason.
that's how I
Everything
think,
happens for a reason.
you know?
Yeah. Everything shaped you
I
to
would've been
where you are
human,
now.
though, bro. I would have just been on it, bro. But it's cool. I'll take I like it because I have experiences and I
Yeah.
have stories to tell for the podcast, so you guys can laugh at my stories. But what I want to ask you, how do you get celebrities and stuff? Because I know you signed an NDA for the
Francesca.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, let's
I
talk
didn't.
about that.
You know what?
Can you talk
Because
about it?
I didn't want to talk about it before the event. That could kind of like
Oh,
affect.
yes.
Because like they made me do that podcast, and we're talking a lot about that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how all went down. Like I book all my celebs by myself. So like I'll email and then basically go back and forth with the agent. and then do contract work and then wire the money and stuff like that. By the way, for my birthday a long time ago, I gave Baka cash for my birthday. Like,
remember
when
that story.
You heard that story?
Cash.
Oh, you did that?
So, like, I gave his manager, like, I don't want to say how much, but it's a lot of money at the time because his single was huge. Like, Live Up to My Name just came out, and I was blowing up in the city. And, like, that was one of his, like, bookings. Like, he didn't have much bookings back then.
Yeah.
You know, but I booked him at Anko, which was one of my favorite clubs in Mississauga. I'm sure you've probably been there.
Yeah, we've all.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we're always.
I booked him for my birthday. That was my first, like, I don't know if you want to call him a celebrity, but
No, he is.
Yeah,
Baka's a goat.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
Baka's a goat, man.
So that was my first celebrity booking that I
Yeah.
did on my own at like 25, 26.
Wow.
And like I did all the funding myself.
Wow.
So like that was addicting because I seen the impact it had on the party. Like having him there for my birthday, like it's my birthday, yeah, it's lit.
Yeah.
We did 1,000 people, but then having him perform
Just made
and
it.
having the reaction of people, like he went in the crowd, it was lit, you
Oh,
know?
wow. You have
So-
any videos? I can
I'll show you later,
I
yeah.
can throw up for the people.
Yeah, I got you.
Send me
We'll
something.
put that on there.
Yeah.
But then Francesca, like I always watch this show religiously, Too Off to Handle. And one day I'm like, yo, I should book one of these cast members. But I never thought I actually got Francesca because her and Harry were like the biggest on the show, and they have like the most followers.
She's
and,
on like every like
yeah,
every
she's
Netflix
on now.
show
She
I
is.
feel like.
Yeah, she blew
Yeah.
up. So I reached out to her agent. I was kind of scared. I thought they scammed me, to be honest, because there's this AI thing that came out where like people are like doing fake videos of AI. So like I paid them, right? And then okay, so Francesca was like a lot of money. I can't say how much, but
Right.
it was like a pretty decent amount because
5 figures?
5 figures for
Okay,
sure, yeah.
okay.
Like for sure over 10K.
Okay.
I didn't want to say the figure because then like it might affect her
Yeah,
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 no,
yeah.
no,
and her
don't
brand,
worry.
right?
Smart,
Yeah,
smart.
That's why I didn't want to say it on
Don't
the
worry, we respect
podcast.
it.
That's
Don't
smart. No,
worry.
we respect that. We
Yeah,
respect
Yeah, because
that,
the podcast is like what it costs. So they actually wanted to know what would it cost to have Francesca at your party.
Yeah.
Because she gets like 6 figures contracts
Yeah.
to like post like a picture of a brand
Right.
or collab with the brand, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she is huge. But yeah, I thought I got scammed because I reached out to her agent. I got the deal. The contracts were signed. I wired the money. They didn't reach out to me until a week later with a video that I thought was fake.
Wow.
And I'm like, yo, what if that's not really Francesca? What if
Yeah.
this guy in LA, because I wanted a Zoom call, he wouldn't even like show his face.
He wouldn't show his face?
No, so I'm
And
like,
you sent him all that bread?
yeah, it was weird. I sent it after, but I'm
Okay.
just like, the whole thing was like a little bit weird to me.
Yeah.
Because I would rather have an agency deal with that booking for me. Like, I don't even want to go through that, right?
Yeah.
Because like when you're doing these things, there's so many like things you have to go on. Like the back end is a lot, right? Like you have to like book the person, then you have to like do the layout of the marketing and then get all the people together. Like it's a lot of work. And to do the booking, it like takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
That took like a month to like really get done. So I sent them the money, then they sent a video a week later because I was scared I didn't get the video in time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, where's this video? Like I sent you the money, and
Yeah.
like they didn't get back to me. But once I said, is this a scam? And they sent the video.
Oh.
And then I thought the video was AI. Like I thought this
What's
guy
up
was I thought this guy was in LA just pretending to be Francesca's manager.
Yeah.
And then he took the money because it wasn't to like Francesca. I guess it was to their accounting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, what if like this guy took the money and she doesn't come? Like that
That's
would give me
scary.
the worst
That's
look
scary.
ever.
Yeah.
But then I promoted it crazy and like kept tagging her. Then she finally like sent me a heart and I'm like, okay, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Because it took a while for her to react that she was gonna be there. It wasn't like, so they wanted. She was visiting her mom. She's from Vancouver.
Right.
And she was going to see her mom as a surprise. So she didn't want her mom to see like any posts of her coming to Toronto or Vancouver.
Oh, so that's why she was doing.
So that's why she was low key
Taking
about it.
one,
So she
yeah.
wasn't like the thing is, her mom could have seen it anyways because it was all over social media, right? But the thing is, like we're tagging Francesca like crazy because we're like, yo, what if she's not even gonna show up?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But the whole experience was crazy. She showed up. It was a lit party. I seen her like when she first came. She's super chill. Like my driver, Black Horse Limos, a transportation company. They're super huge. They have like so many cars, like Lincolns, Navigators.
Wow.
And they picked her up like at the airport, brought her to the hotel. I first met her before like bringing her to the club.
Did you guys cover the hotel too?
Everything, like
Okay.
everything was covered. So
Yeah.
there was a hosting fee for her.
Yeah.
There was like the flights and transportation, and then there's just a rider. Yeah, so they all like have the same kind of things. Baka didn't really have flights because he's from Toronto, but he just had like transportation, the hosting fee, and then the rider that he wanted. So the rider usually includes like bottles, like how many comps of their friends that can get in and stuff like that. It's an interesting like I obviously want to get into it more, like booking more celebrities, but it requires like a lot of funding.
No,
it's hit or miss. Like sometimes you make money, sometimes you lose money, right?
Of course, that's business, right? Yeah. You know what I find though, the greatest things are stuff that almost don't happen. I feel like when things are like you see how you almost didn't get it or you thought it was fake. I feel like those are the best moments, because even Tafari, a couple times we had to, like, he was busy. I think something happened to his car, so I didn't get him for the first, like, it took a while. I had to work that relationship.
That's a huge client to be on a podcast. That's
I pitched the way I pitched him. Great minds. He knew he had to come. He had to come. That's my guy. Though. That's my guy, man.
He's doing big things. I listened to like a lot of things what he says
today.
He's a very great person I look up to.
No, he's amazing, man. Yeah. He's so humble. He's always working though. Yeah. And he's in Vancouver. Like, he goes everywhere. I want to be like him, like everywhere, bro. Crazy. I love that guy. Guy's awesome.
It's crazy how he got that deal though.
I know. Yeah. With Wes, none of those other guys were gonna give him or those people were gonna give him a deal.
I know. That's crazy.
It's fucked up, man. Crazy. But yeah. Okay, Pro Surfer. I showed you that video with the Pro Surfer. Let me just ask you guys about that real quick. Would you let remember the video I sent you?
With your son.
Yeah, what do you guys think about that? Would you guys did you see that video?
The Pro Surfer, basically,
I'll show it to her.
The child is like surfing with his dad.
Oh.
Look, this one. Show it to her. It's pretty cool. I know it's random. I just wanted to know what your guys' thoughts were. Because it's kind of
deep. Because you have
a child.
That's what I'm saying. You have a child. That's what I was saying. Perfect segue. Yeah. I didn't segue it like that purposely, but yeah, that makes more sense. Would you let your kid do that?
That is scary, though.
That, right? That's scary. That's what I'm saying. Like, one wrong move, the board flips.
He's a pro surfer.
That's what I said to you.
So that's why he could probably get it.
Life be life.
But
I know I'm not surfing with my child like that.
But
you wouldn't do. So if you were
I'm not a pro surfer though.
If you were,
I'm getting heart palpitations rewatching that.
But Cass, in the comments, they were
have a lifeguard or no? Oh, he doesn't have a life jacket on.
No, he doesn't have a life jacket.
Holy!
But in the comments though, everyone's saying, "Nah, that guy's so good at surfing. Like, he's a professional." So I don't think it's that serious.
I don't care what he is.
You wouldn't know.
No,
I wouldn't even have a life jacket.
I'm a certified lifeguard.
But Cass, remember what the other mother we just had said? She was saying like she lets her kid fall on the bar sometimes. Sometimes your kid needs to fall.
Oh, I see what you mean.
In the ocean,
it's like driving a bike.
Your kid needs to get
like riding a bike.
Strength.
In the ocean,
riding a bike, you fall off.
Exactly.
Your mom will put you back on that bike. And
exactly. You know how much that scrape knees? You know how much scrape knees I had?
In the ocean, but did you
in the ocean?
I even tried to break my arm.
Over like 80% of the ocean isn't even discovered.
No, I won't do it.
In the ocean, I feel like that's
my thing about life is like
it's just why
you gotta take chances and risks to really do anything amazing in the world. So maybe he's just teaching his kid and giving him experiences and lessons and stuff like that.
Okay, but how old do you think that child
will mold him and help him be a greater human being?
How old do you think that kid is?
I don't know.
He's definitely like at least 6 or 7.
That's like 13. Can we do 13?
Yeah.
10, 12, maybe.
Like have some more like emotional intelligence and autonomy over your body. Honestly, to understand right from wrong.
I think I like when like
kids don't understand danger.
I like edgy stuff. So to me, it was
that
cool.
In the ocean.
He's a pro too. When I found out he was a pro, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. It's pro.
People have drowned that
it makes sense.
That can swim.
Don't you guys see those babies like in the water that can kind of do cool stuff?
No, but that's because they go to
and that's controlled water, lessons. And a whole bunch of people are there.
Okay, so do you not see those babies that lift weights? What about that?
That maybe he's lifting weights.
You never seen those babies?
Those are little people. Those are just little people.
No, they're not little people.
No, they're not dwarves.
Oh, what little people?
No, they're little people, like they're babies.
They're actual babies, but their dads are letting them lift weights early.
Yeah.
And I heard that's not good either.
I heard that stunts your growth, but maybe there's some new statistic or some.
I don't know about that. I think people just the age of social media and going viral is a crazy thing.
Okay, but that is true because sometimes these headlines, like for the blogs, I swear they're making shit up, bro.
And then you actually read the article. What are you talking about?
Isn't a lot of blogs like
the news Bill C69 or some shit like that. Yeah, something. Yeah, it's messed up. We're not seeing. I went on an Instagram page and it said I can't view this because I'm from Canada.
I know, it's crazy.
Really, I haven't seen anything like that yet.
I seen it. Yeah, the censorship's real.
Isn't Blog TO like that? Right
Yeah.
And that was a huge blog.
That was a big blog, yeah.
So what? Only people in the States can see it?
Pretty much. It's pretty much.
Some sort of news restrictions are happening due to Trudeau and his decisions. They're trying to do something with podcasting, apparently. Regulate podcasting.
Yeah, with the CRTC.
How are you going to regulate podcasts? We're trying to make money. The fuck are you going to regulate?
That's crazy.
There's nothing to regulate. We're trying to make $1.
I know. This guy, Trudeau.
I'm out here struggling, bro. I'm joking. But yeah, I'm out here, though. But like, what the hell are these guys talking about, you know? But yeah.
Everyday censorship, and you want to control what we say, this, that, and the third.
We're trying to
You can't even type the word...
The video's still playing, I think.
VACCINE anymore on Instagram without a COVID headline popping up underneath.
Facts. That COVID thing was scary. Like every time you talk about COVID.
Absolutely insane.
COVID.
Even like the fact that you can post a picture and Instagram will scan through the app. Scan through the photo, and if they detect a single word of VACCINE or COVID, then I think I spelled that wrong.
You know what else is not what else is not fair? The word OnlyFans is blocked on TikTok. Did you guys know that?
No, I did not know.
You can't even say the word OnlyFans.
Good.
Why?
I don't know. I posted a video, one of our clips, and Mel was talking about OnlyFans from the blind date, and she messaged me right away. Take it down. OnlyFans, saying the word OnlyFans will fuck up your account.
Oh,
and all this stuff.
Like, there's a lot of things you can't say on TikTok.
Wow, that's crazy.
Like you can't type in the word fasting on TikTok. You can't type in like fast diet or like water diet or water fasting, even though a lot of people do that for like religious reasons, because it'll put like a disclaimer saying this is like the national eating disorder hotline or something like that. Can't put like K*LL on there. There's so many things. Censorship is a crazy thing, but I think it's because they're trying to keep the platform as ad friendly as possible, which then opens up a whole nother can of worms. But social media is crazy.
Speaking of ads, I know you're in marketing, and I know you can't speak on a lot, but what you can speak on, is there anything you think you could help with in terms of marketing that we should be doing? Or
what would you say your niche is
right now?
That's the first thing.
Our niche right now is definitely 18 to 34. I say we have women and men, but a little bit more men. I think we're like 60% men, 40% women.
Is that your audience?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
60%.
Nice.
We have women, women and men's it's close.
Yeah.
18 to 34, and I would say urban. We're in the urban market right now.
If you could describe your podcast in 2 words, say if I'm someone who has the ability to give you $100,000 in ad revenue, not 2 words, 2 sentences, describe the podcast.
Relationships and lifestyle. So
then I would say, look into reaching out to Trojan or Durex or brands like that, especially since you're talking about relationships. Safe sex is something that we need to speak about a lot more with the rises in a lot of sexually transmitted diseases. Looking into partnering with alcohol brands. 100 like alcohol brand ambassadors.
We got a sponsor for it. We sponsored for 1800. They sponsored our last event. Yeah. My boy Rich got me that too, by the way.
Nice.
Shout out to Rich. See, that's one of my good friends.
You talked about Rich a lot.
No, I love Rich.
I need to meet this guy.
You're gonna meet Rich. Don't worry.
He sounds like a great guy.
Great, amazing. He has a family. Teaches me a lot.
Your card game. Look into getting funding for that, branding for that. Host monthly. If I was you, I would host monthly players play. Not even like blind dates, just like a game night where everybody can come and play the card game with your friends,
That's the plan, yeah.
And host it at a venue where they're going to charge you a fee, perhaps, just to rent out the venue. Then you make a percentage of alcohol sales. You can tell people, hey, you can buy bottles here or you can buy drinks. When you buy a ticket, it automatically gives you like a free shot upon entry. That way it's not mixing drinks, so they're not wasting juice, because everyone loves juice and tequila or alcohol all the time. And really do that and start marketing your personal Instagram pages as the brand, because you two are the brand.
Start marketing our personal pages as the brand?
Yeah, so it's like everything is players play. You're still a person, you're still Deshae, you're still... That's your name, right?
Deshae. Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I usually let people
not
say
me
it wrong.
combining your names. I'm so sorry.
I usually let people say it wrong.
Deshae and Cass.
I'm so used to people saying it wrong. I just let them say it wrong. But sorry, I think
that's really important, that outside of that, you're still a human being. Like, you guys are still your own people, but you are players play. And that's what people buy into. That's what brands give you funding for, because they believe in you and the brand. You could be chatting a whole bunch of shit, but that shit has purpose behind it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's literally all it is. And you can't put everybody on. The guests that you have, you got to be very mindful of who they are. You can't have someone on here that's too opinionated. And if you do, you got to make sure that you're going to stand 10 toes down behind them if they say something super outlandish, because that's your podcast. This is someone that you chose to have, which is also one thing. Like Joe Budden, for example, he's super outspoken, but he got into podcasts so early that people just know he's just going to say things that people may think, but a lot of people don't necessarily agree with, or it's just like, the hot take that he had on Drake's album. A lot of people think that, but he's going to be the only person to actually say it. Like, his brand is being outspoken, standing 10 toes down in what he says, and being very nostalgic about the fact that in 2000s he was a rapper. That's what he does,
You said too opinionated, though.
Yeah.
Isn't that a good thing in a sense, though?
yes and no.
It could be good because we've had people that are
good.
opinionated.
Yeah.
And those clips have gone pretty crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like
Makes
some girl
sense.
says you don't have to work a 9 to 5. Remember that? You don't have to work a 9 to 5. Remember that one?
Yeah.
That clip went kind of crazy. And I was going at her.
Your toxic trend about how you need a guy to be toxic. I remember seeing that clip circulating a lot.
Oh, I think I seen that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a girl said you don't have to work a 9 to 5?
Yeah, basically.
And it went crazy, eh?
Yeah, I'll show you. 500K on TikTok.
Holy
I'll show you.
But see, like
But was
those
it good?
those topics.
Like, were people saying good things about it? Or
That's
bad
when
No, they were getting.
people
They were
love to talk
getting
about that. Like I don't know if you
I
guys
unpinned
are
it.
on
I'd have to find
Twitter or
it.
anything.
I thought it was on our
like
comments
personally,
here.
but not on.
So you
Yeah,
know,
we do.
everyday gender wars.
Yeah, we do numbers, brother.
Diaspora wars.
Look, let me see if I can find it. I even unpinned it.
Cheating is a rich man's sport.
Yeah, those things.
I've been
Like,
hearing that like
all
crazy.
of these topics, like hot topics.
Yeah, what do you think
people-
about that?
It's not because girls that broke niggas cheat on them all the time
Every
and stay.
Mm.
I want people to get rid of this notion where if every single person you've been with or majority of the men that you've been with have not been rich and gaslit you and taken you fiat and then elevated you so where you're not living in your parents' house anymore, you're living in a nice condo and your life's together, you got a good amount of money, don't talk about cheating being a rich man's sport because anybody can get cheated on. Rich men that cheat on you, literally there's been divorces where they've like kicked their wives out the house, moved the mistress in, wives are there fighting for child support and all of these things. Like I don't agree with that, but I think people say things because they know it's going to generate clout. I don't believe a lot of the things that people say they truly believe because you can look at someone's lifestyle or the way they live separate from social media and be like, I don't think you believe that at all.
Let's talk about this. 'cause
Or
this is a
that you
good
don't
topic.
follow.
Yeah,
for real.
it's just something to say.
Okay, let's talk about this. We're in a generation where everyone's making content. You have to stand out to a degree. Do you believe in like what do you think people should do in regards to that? Like, do you think it's bad that people are going for those clout moves, or like do you feel like, or do you think that's necessary in a sense to grow, or do you feel like, can you be your authentic self and still be and grow and just?
If you look at the people like Monet McMichael, I don't know if you know who that is on TikTok. Monet.
I've heard of her.
So her brand is herself. She waxes her pits on TikTok. She will pop a pimple on TikTok. She's very open and honest. She has like a snaggle tooth. A lot of people early on the days will comment on it. She has given a lot of women who may not have like the best teeth, or her teeth don't look bad, by the way. She just literally has just one snaggle tooth and she gives them a lot of confidence. Her brand is herself. She's on the Forbes list as one of the top
she
creators.
has something. She has something different that people are captivated from. What about the regular person out there?
Being
what
yourself,
do they do? Being yourself.
especially
Do you think being yourself
nowadays-
really makes you get to the next level?
This
or
is not like 2015, 2016, 2017 shit, even like 2018 where all those YouTube creators, it like you couldn't log or sign into YouTube and not see a prank video. We're not in that era anymore where you need to create crazy content.
I don't agree. I disagree.
I know, well,
I think it's way harder to make it now. Back then, you could have did like things and just go viral. Like people went viral back then more easier. Let's be honest. We're in a market where it's hard to grow digitally, especially on Instagram.
but that's
I know.
because everybody wants to do it because they want to make money, because they see content creators living this lavish lifestyle.
Which is a facade, by the way, because a lot of these people aren't.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's a whole tricky
But-
thing too. The numbers don't always mean what they show.
But those
making-
streamers are doing well.
The streamers are doing well.
Creating
The streamers are doing
content,
well.
but they're being themselves. Like, take that in. Like T Grizzly, that the rapper, has his own GTA server and he's making more money than he was as a rapper because he loves video games.
I agree that being yourself.
That's
I personally agree.
It goes.
when
it
I say
only
I
goes too
disagree,
far though. It only goes like
being yourself,
so
right?
far, yeah.
That's what. Okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, because-
Personally, I am myself. Like I personally feel like I'm not doing no clout shit. None of that.
Yeah.
Really. Like whatever happens as it goes viral, because like someone threw up on a blind date. Things happen naturally, which we did not try to make happen. Now, if that happens naturally, I'm gonna drop it because it's just natural content, right? But there's people that intentionally go for those moments every time. That's not us.
But that's the difference.
You do need a lot of. Like I've intentionally invested into this podcast.
100%, as you
That's
should.
why we are being seen. I know what I've done. I've intentionally done this, and I know what and it's not just being myself. It is being myself. I'm not saying I'm not
authentic. It's authentic. You're authentic to your brand. People can see, your viewers can sense the authenticity.
Can they?
That's why.
You guys sense it?
I would not have come on here, honestly. The steps that I had to do to even like ensure that it was okay for me to, I wouldn't have.
Really?
Because like
Wow.
I was trying to say earlier, I wasn't sure if this was another one of like those podcasts, because truthfully, all I've seen is the viral clips, and some of them were just absolute nonsense.
Fair enough.
Not on
enough.
your side.
Fair enough.
You know
Fair
what I
enough.
mean?
Fair
And I'm
enough.
just like,
Fair enough.
am very protective or careful about, especially like what I put out now.
Fair enough.
I don't want to end up on a podcast where like I can just sign onto Twitter and can respond to someone's tweet where we're talking about the same thing that everybody talks about. But being yourself, being authentic. If you don't want to say be yourself, being authentic to what you want to do or what you want or what you are trying to put out is how you will make money. Yes, there comes a certain level of media training that you need to have. Yes, there comes a time where you really aren't able to speak about certain things because unfortunately with notoriety and being known, you aren't no longer allowed to have opinions on certain things. That sucks, but that's just the name of the game. That's just what happens when you're in business.
Exactly.
That's the whole point of marketing. That's why you have PR people.
Deshae and I both said that you reach a plateau where you need, like, sometimes in this market where everyone's doing the same thing.
But that's, again,
because I'm just trying to figure out the formula. What
do you think you guys do differently from other podcasts? We don't have to answer that right now if you don't want to.
I can answer it.
That's your first question.
Oh, you want me to tell you?
I mean, your first answer. Okay. Your first step. Oh my gosh, get what I mean. Okay. That's your first step.
Like, what do we do differently?
Yeah.
I clearly know what we do differently. I don't even have to say it. But, okay, maybe you're right. No, okay. I'm just like, I have high expectations for us. I'm like
100%, and never let those go away. Keep your expectations high.
But like you said, Toronto's is a shadow city. You know how hard it is to grow out in the city? Like, I can't even believe I did all this stuff in a year. Because, like, I intentionally had to do, like, we just did a lot. Me, Cass.
Manifestation.
They don't even know, bro. They don't know the ins and outs.
And prayer
shout out
is
to,
key.
I'm
shout out
to
y'all real quick.
I want to say shout out to Cass, though. I'm going to give a special shout out to Cass for just, and everyone behind the scenes. Sure. I was about to get real personal.
You know, sometimes I don't know if it's to say it.
Yeah. No, I do. I want to give a shout out to just the women that helped me with this, because we just have an intern now, so it's 3 women now.
Nice.
And working with women is amazing.
Yeah.
These niggas ain't shit.
Women are very intellectual.
I know.
As you know, what you're saying makes a lot of sense.
I know. I'm just happy to have them. So
I will say,
shout out to them.
Women in marketing and PR
are the best.
Is a hidden gem, and a lot of people don't realize it. Not even a shameless plug, but I've been doing my own marketing stuff on the side, brand development, web design, and all of that. 98% of my clients are men who have worked with other men before. They just don't get the vision. Not to say that men don't have or lack the ability to be creative, but women have like this natural je ne sais quoi, where I wouldn't even say like we're manipulative. I don't mean it in like a bad way, but like we just know what to do. We know what to say, and we know how to.
They do.
Yeah, we do, and we really know how to like elevate the brand. That's why I'm saying to you,
these 2 women.
Shout out y'all.
Shout out to them, man.
Shout out y'all.
Shout out to these 2 women, bro.
If you guys didn't know, Cass is a real one.
Cass is a real one, bro.
Shout out Baby T.
Right, Baby T. That's what the call.
And even like Cass has days where probably she's not feeling the best, but she shows up, bro.
Yeah.
I just want to give shots out to you guys, man.
You know, when we were talking about like the whole Shadow City thing, I was gonna touch base or touch back on that. Deshae, for example, when I was saying how there's people that have made their own lane, Deshae is somebody who has done that. You have people who are freshly turning 19 that know about Dynasty. And not even in like in a way, because he's just known, you know. You've got people my age, 25 for example, you know, that are still rocking with him. People in his 30s in their 30s come to Deshae. He's made his own lane, similar to Mickey and all of these guys, you know. Like Regulars closed down, they opened up Silent H. You know, there's people who know how to pivot in Toronto, but because Toronto is where they want to be and they want to make Toronto the best that they possibly can, you know. But for a lot of other people in other avenues, like Deshae said, he only wants to be a promoter for so long, but he's making moves that 5 years from now, he no longer has to be promoter. He can own the business, and he has people promoting for him, and he can go on the back end of things, you know. God willing, can really own his own spot and really create. I love this episode, sorry. And and can really like create and foster a nightlife environment that's true to Dynasty, but not even that's true to Deshae, because at the end of the day, without Deshae, there's no Dynasty. This doesn't exist. You know, and that's why he started started promoting at Ultraviolet. No exaggeration and no shade to any other promoter. I was at Apartment earlier that night, and I think this was your second Friday there.
Did you come to Ace's birthday?
No.
Oh, okay.
But that was mod. One thing about him, his friends, when they throw parties, insanity.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yo, I'm excited for the future, man. Okay. I got to far. Yo, I love the network.
And I'm there. I want to say like I got there at like 1:45, almost 2. I've never seen a promoter's booth packed like that before. Wow. And that's no shade to any of my other people's. This is before 2:00 where all the other clubs are closing down and people come.
It's a 4 a.m. spot.
He had his booth packed. I'm sitting there and I'm talking to one of the security guards and I'm like, whose birthday is it?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, okay. And then someone moved and then I seen Deshae just like, holding the fort down, standing in the middle, just commanding presence. And I said, that in itself speaks volumes. His booth is never empty at Juliet. Ever.
Wow.
By the way, guys, I've never done a Toronto night on Friday, so going to Ultraviolet and leaving Mississauga, because I've been in Mississauga for the last like 6-7 years. Technically, the last 10 plus years from like all ages, because I used to do Fridays at Body English that you probably went to. But from there, I gotta start bringing that up.
No, don't worry. Honestly, I was there when I should not have been in there, so it's okay.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I was doing all ages like up until 19, and then I've been doing Fridays in Mississauga for the longest time because I made so much money, but my brand was being affected by it because Mississauga is not really the greatest, right? So yeah, shout out Porthouse. I was there for like a while because I left Ankle, went to Porthouse, stayed at Porthouse for a couple of years, and then like I was so scared to make that transition to downtown because it's so much harder, and like you have to actually work for your money. You can't just show up like I used to at Porthouse. At one time at Porthouse, I ran 3 locations in one night. So I would go to Burlington. They have a location in Burlington by the water, beautiful. Then they have one by Port Credit, which is by the water as well. Then they had one on Etobicoke. So they have 3 locations by the lake, basically. And I used to run that on Friday, and I made a ton of money, like probably life-changing, to be honest. That's how I bought my first condo. And then I left that not for the money, because I'm making less money being somewhere else, but it wasn't for the money. I just left it for the brand to elevate, because ever since I left Ultraviolet, like our numbers are through the roof, like record-breaking numbers, like if I show you on this app that we do the last month, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Wow. Like I've never done that before. Yeah, just like my host tables alone sold at least like 25,000. Wow, from September to October.
That's impressive, bro.
This is not even like,
we gotta give you your flowers, bro.
Yeah. Like Porthouse, we used to do like 25K a night, but this is like the whole club, Wow. I'm saying like tables like just alone are doing like a lot of money, Yeah.
So, let me ask you this: is there anyone that you've inspired that has told you like, yo, I look up to you, bro? Like,
there's a lot of people that DM me that I don't know that say like, hey, like I watch your podcast, because that's usually, you can't get inspired by like someone's lifestyle, like that only goes so long. That person could be faking it, or that they might not actually be living it, but then if they hear you speak, I actually don't like being on podcasts because I'm very shy. I don't want to like make it be a boring episode or whatever, and people might not relate to it, but like I just do it anyways, because maybe like what's the worst that could happen, right? But a lot of people message me, they're like, hey, I watch your podcast. Like there's one episode in Miami where like my mentor in Miami, I was a student from him, and then I like kind of graduated the program, and that's where I made like the first like transition from like being where I was to be on a better level, which was working for somebody and then working for myself and like building my company, having other promoters work for me. Because right now, like at this point, like I have a company now, and guys like work at other venues that promote like under my company. Wow. So like for example, someone could be in my company and go to another club and be like, hey, I work for Dynasty, and get into that club because of that name. Wow. And they get like certain deals and privileges and like money, and like they have like obviously like people like that will take them in, because like when you start in this business, you could ask any promoter back in the day, it was hard to get the venues. You have to work under another promoter that's been doing it for a long time, which is what I had to do. But now, like I see my own guys, and the thing about me, I'm not a guy that's like very envy of people. Like I have guys that work for me for a long time, and they do their own thing, and I don't mind it. Like I'm not a guy that's like, yo, you can't work for other clubs. Like Ritz and Ace, they're like my day one. Same with CJ, like. They get their own deals other places, and I'm like, yo, you can't do that. Like I'm not those type of people. There's actually promoters out there that have companies that don't let their promoters like think outside the box and do their own thing. Like I let people get other deals, make money elsewhere, and like do big for themselves. It's not just like a thing where I'm making all the money and other people aren't, because all my guys do it full time with me, and they do really well for themselves. So it's a great thing, because you're like putting on other people, and you could see them actually like living a life that they want to live. And you're essentially giving them
the free will to create and do other things and not restricting them to a formula.
You know that, like, you know what that does to them though? They look at you differently.
Of course.
Because you're not that type of person where you're like very, like, you're mindful, right?
Exactly.
And you want to like help people exceed as much as they can. Exactly. Because if they grow, I grow as well eternally.
Exactly.
Because the brand is a lot bigger.
Right.
If like on a Friday you're at like 5 different venues, you know, like what promoters are actually doing that.
Yeah.
And you're actually producing. It's not like you're there and you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, no, it's crazy. And I did want to touch on something you were speaking on before. I don't think we've asked you, how did you heal from the situation? Like,
I did not. I still have not. I'm not even gonna cap to you.
Are you gonna take any steps? Speak with anyone? Like, what's that gonna look like? Because I know you're speaking about it here freely, but of course that has long-lasting, traumatic,
it's funny.
Effects.
I was in the car, and when Baby T told me who the other guest was gonna be on the podcast, I had a feeling what the direction of it was gonna go, and I'm like, if they ask or if it comes up, just be as transparent as possible, because that's the only way I'm gonna be able to heal from it. So you don't have to worry about like asking me any questions. Obviously legally there's a bunch of shit that I can't speak about, but I didn't, and I haven't until I want to say like July 29th of this year. I made a promise to myself that I was going to start living more intentionally and stop finding myself in certain situations and placing myself in certain environments and expecting a different outcome, surrounding myself with the same people in a different environment, and being intentional with my time and being intentional with my presence and understanding that, not on like no cocky shit, but like my presence is a gift. And understanding, because after that shooting I had about 3 more traumatic events take place within 2.5-3 months of each other. Wow. Like I was in another shooting.
Wait.
Yeah.
There's 2 shootings?
No, separately, but this was just that was.
You didn't get shot the second time?
No.
Oh my god.
Okay.
But like a bullet flew like literally grazed past my head.
Holy.
Oh my god.
I got hit by a drunk driver.
Oh my.
You were walking?
No, my car.
Oh.
Fuck.
Yeah, I got hit by a drunk driver. So there's like, when I was telling you guys, like when I was saying that God was trying to tell me to stay home.
Yeah.
But that's what I thought, but it wasn't. He was trying to tell me to slow down because I was just on the go all the time.
Yeah.
I would never allow myself to sit there and like think in my thoughts. So with, the decision to be more intentional, starting to unlearn a lot of toxic things, and I'm like, okay, well, if I didn't feel the need to be here and there was no obligation to be here, I would have never got shot. Just calling it what it is, so I don't no longer need to be in environments or situations where there's an obligation. I'm not obligated to shit other than my child, and like that first couple of weeks I couldn't make a fist, I couldn't hold my son. I don't even say like that was depression. It was just being there. Like I was just sad. Wow. That's when it just kicked everything into overdrive, and being forced to sit there and like think in my thoughts. I gained weight. My body composition changed. Just like. Did
you smoke or use any of like drugs to? Like,
no, it was just alcohol. Okay. Like my relationship with alcohol now. Like I used to self-harm, and that became like my form of self-harm. So again, like I didn't allow myself to heal. I really thought 10 days, like literally 10 days after the shooting, I got my stitches taken out. I went to door 3 that night.
You're lying.
And like, I remember like my best friend came with me. Shout out to her because she hated outside. This girl did the absolute most to really try and like make me comfortable. And people like started to get like really close to me. I ended up like running down the first steps of door 3, like crouched down. And then I was so sensitive to noise. I remember like my son's dad being so pissed at me because like, why the fuck would you go to a club? And I'm like, honestly, like to this day, I still don't have an answer. I don't know why, because I really thought it was going to help. And then
self-sabotage maybe?
Oh yeah, I be doing that a lot. But then there was an event at Love Child, and it was like the end of the event. Someone dropped the mic and I thought it was a gunshot and I dropped to the ground.
Wow, PTSD.
Like thank God it was like my people It wasn't like just me in a booth with like people that I knew. Like these are like my best friends.
Yeah.
They had to like go. One of my friends drove and got my car, and they had to like, I couldn't walk. Like I was trembling.
That's so crazy.
And then went out the next night to Lost and Found. It was Caribana weekend. Yeah.
Honestly,
I don't know why or my thought process behind that.
no, you know what? I can speak on this because, you know, I think it's self-sabotage. I do this to myself too at times. And I like the word you use, intent. When you live your life with intent, you create the results.
100%.
And when you let yourself just wither away or let yourself go, that's when like you're not intentional anymore.
Because I'm like,
you know, you're missing out on
what is the reason for me to be outside all of the time?
It doesn't make sense. There's no reason.
No, and there was, honestly, guys, other than the connections that like I still have, there's nothing positive that's come from me being outside. And like that's so sad to say, but like nothing. You know, it's just leading down a path of like being like sexually deviant, needing to drink all the time. I couldn't be home without a glass of wine. What am I doing? Putting my kid to bed? I need a glass of wine?
Yeah.
Or can't stay my ass home. I have to be outside. Going to eat? I need a shot. I know I'm ordering a cocktail, but like I need a shot. Like I became that person. That's not who I am. Like Lex Luthor is a part of me. I like to have fun, but like Lex Luthor is dark. It's pure darkness.
Speaking to my other side too. I know this. I know exactly
and
what
I'm
you're
just
speaking
like,
about. I was literally in this phase.
even like looking at, this sounds like a lot, but the men that I was attracting stopped attracting this summer even. Like, you are not who I want. I would be around so many people. None of them met my kid. Nobody. I'm not even talking about friends. I stopped posting him because I'm like, this energy, I don't need to expose him to. And then like, you know, with these fallouts come people talking about him or calling me a bad mom or doing these, like, you guys don't know what I do behind the scenes. But then I understand the perception is you don't see my kid. You see me outside. I'm blessing the bottle. I'm shaking ass, talking to every promoter, hugging every person that can breathe in the club. I don't blame people for thinking I'm not a good parent. But with that, they don't understand comes the sacrifice of me not sleeping. Because if I was to stay home, I would have killed myself 100%. But then I got to a point where I'm still killing myself in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. It's
like,
you wanted to escape.
100%.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what am I escaping from? And then that's when I realized like my home environment, without going into that too much, that's just what it is.
Yeah, you just got to fix your home environment.
100%.
And I think you just have to remain youthful.
Yeah. And it's like I think
that's the best way to maintain yourself.
Lost a lot of like friends along the way, like with this journey.
Of course.
And them not understanding why I don't want to be outside.
Yeah.
Or like Lex doesn't seem as fun, but everybody that's still here right now, even there's been like 2 people that I've met recently that have had such a positive impact in my life in such a short period of time. And I'm like, even if you're only supposed to be here for, let's say 6 months or a year, the lessons that I'm going to take from this mean more than 22 year friendships that I've had. People that have done absolutely nothing for me, you know? But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, for anybody listening, Deshae is the positive, the light side of being outside, you know? And I'm sure there's even darkness with like being a promoter and a lot of sacrifice that comes with it. Yes, you know, these promoters need us to be outside, but understand that there's always going to be people that want to go outside. There's always going to be people. Don't ever feel obligated to do something because you're helping somebody with numbers. More importantly, do not be outside because you're escaping something. The club scene can get very, 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 very dark. It's not all bottles and taking shots and all of these things. Like if you're not right, genuinely, just stay home. Clubs are always going to be there. Promoters will always have people to fill their booth. And if like these people, these promoters are your friends, they will understand, you know?
But I think you're going to speak to a lot of people out there that
100%.
do need to listen to that and really understand that, you know? Because people sometimes FOMO, fear of missing out.
You're not missing out on shit.
That's really a big one too, that people kind of, you know, make a reason to go and stuff like that. I
went to Soho House on Tuesday. This is probably like my first time like just being outside of a birthday. And I ran into some people. They're like, I haven't seen you in forever. And in my head, my response wanted to be yes, because I don't want to be seen. But I just said, I'm like, nah, like, you know, I'm just hiding. Like, you know, you guys will see me outside. I was like, yeah, like, I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thursday comes around, and I'm like, there's no way God himself couldn't drag me out of the house. I don't want to be outside. I don't care at all anymore. It does nothing for me. Like, my birthday is coming up and everybody expects me to do something at the club. I'm here thinking I could do that. I know I'm gonna get a good deal. You know, like, I know they're gonna bless me. I know it'll be a blast. But I spent last year at the club at my birthday, left like maybe like an hour before the club ended, wanting to cry in tears because the people that I had around me just put me in such compromising situations to where I felt so uncomfortable to celebrate my birthday, and then proceeded to go on social media and lie and say this was the best birthday I ever had. The worst birthday on record. The worst. The absolute worst. If I could go back to my birthday last year, half of those people wouldn't be there.
Wow. I want to ask you this though. What did you do to replace those habits with? Because I find anytime I need to like change something, I have to replace it.
Yeah.
So what did you do to replace that?
So I wouldn't even say I replaced anything. They're just gone.
Really?
No, I didn't have to replace anything.
You don't watch more, like you don't binge watch TV? Like there's no other
I've always done that.
Okay, but like what do you do in your free time when obviously you're going to be bored? Because I find the two things that lead people to do dumb shit is stress and boredom.
Boredom, yeah.
So
100%.
what do you do now when stress and boredom comes your way?
Know, I don't find myself bored anymore. I'll just be like, oh, I'm home. And I'll just like be dramatic with my friends, like, ugh, what do I do? I'm inside. What do you people? Nah, I'm chilling, you know? I've really put a lot into like my own personal business and stop giving out free game. So I'll be home, I'm coding, on Canva, you know, making up Instagram feeds for people, reading. I'm really into, like, my first degree was in politics, so I'm really into politics. So, you know, just reading up on current events and things like that, finding new shows to watch. I'm trying to really stray away from TV now and get back into podcasts and reading. I've read 4 books so far this month. I want physical copies of books, but, you know, it's easier on, you know, iBooks on the app.
The Audible?
Yeah.
Oh, Audible, eh?
And they're cheaper.
So you're in therapy?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I haven't stopped being in therapy, but I actually listen to my therapist now. Yeah, I allow myself to think those dark thoughts and understand that there's 7 days in a week, and if I have 6 bad days, I'm gonna have 1 good day, and then that following week I'm taking that 1 good day, and then it's 2 good days, or it's 3 good days, or understanding that if I have 6 good days and I have 1 god awful day, that's not gonna set me back. That's really what I could say, I guess you said, like, I've replaced my time with, is just allowing myself to be dark and twisty for however long I need to be, but then understanding that 2 truths can coexist. I'm still this happy girl, this fun girl. I can't really sit in silence a lot of the times. I'm making weird noises. But then I'm also that person who went through a lot of shit and experienced a lot of trauma and had a lot of horrible things happen to her. But that's not my story, you know?
Yeah.
And again, being intentional, July 29th. What day is it today? The 14th? 78 days. My life.
You just did the math on that?
Yeah. My life has.
That is crazy.
No.
My life has done an almost.
Wait, what?
I don't know if it's at 180. Yeah, I'm at 180 right now, and I know by the end of this year it's going to be a 360.
Wow.
Like, I had the most peaceful weekend of my life.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
And that's how it's been every weekend. Even like, you know, being outside, being wild. It's peace.
Wow.
You know what's crazy? Like earlier today, not before I came, but I was actually in a holy chapel. Oh,
yeah.
I was actually in a holy chapel.
Yeah.
Because that's where I find a lot of my peace with God. Like praying, just like meditating, like being in a very great atmosphere. Because like that's a great place to be, right? Like if you're spiritual, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, and honestly, I just want to say thank you guys for sharing and giving so much gems. My audience is gonna love this.
Yeah?
I hope so.
They will. There's a combination of insightfulness, business. We got a little funny at times, but honestly, this was just a real episode, and I feel like, I don't know, these episodes do stuff for me too. So I appreciate you guys sharing, you know, and on our platform.
Yeah, and for being so vulnerable, like, well,
yeah.
Like, I'm even getting teary eyed. I'm trying not to cry because you're
girl. Don't
no,
look at
and I'm a crier.
I'm a cry.
Everyone knows I'm a crier. So,
and I would say I'm pretty emotional too. So I'm feeling what you're saying. You know,
like, it's not easy to get up here.
It's not,
especially behind a camera.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and really just be honest and truthful. Like, it's hard. Like, even when I first started, I thought I was a talker, and you still have to learn and learn your way around the camera. You know,
100%.
So it's an experience. So I appreciate you guys for really coming.
Thank you guys for having me.
No, honestly, thank you, Deshae. I can't wait to. Wait, what happened?
Sorry.
The tears are coming out.
No.
I'm
so sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh,
stop! I'm a gangster.
Oh, is this our first? This is this is a moment. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Pour up! Oh my gosh! This is a moment. Oh my god! But honestly, though, like, you actually are touching me though, because I swear to God, I was smoking and fucking up my life for the last 2 weeks, and fucking up my life.
You
really,
guys are actually gonna make me cry.
No, real shit. No.
I want to hug you, but I'll start.
What if we all four start crying right now?
Yo, I swear I could cry too, bro. Because I swear to, I didn't like the thoughts you're saying about wanting to kill yourself. All that shit is real, bro.
I know.
That stuff is all real. Like I don't know, man. I thought the pod was like, I was done with the pod, bro. Like, yo. Shit, you guys trying to get me emotional and shit, man. I'm not trying to get too emotional. But
no, you know this life's hard. You know what I mean?
Life is hard, bro. Life is hard.
No matter where you are,
I be feeling like
we all have our own demons, you know.
Yeah, but there's always another side. You know, like, it's all about like the mental, like where you place yourself and what you wanna. You know, like, it's all about like the battle, who you surround yourself 100%. With. You know.
I don't know if you guys pray or if the viewers pray or if you're spiritual or whatever it is, but I recently found my way back with God when I turned 25. Yeah. But again, like, these last 78 days, I have friends who are very spiritual and everything. And what I can say is, you need to believe in something.
Yeah.
And the first thing you need to believe in is yourself.
Facts.
And your abilities. Facts. That will take you very far. It doesn't matter if you have 10 people in a room telling you you're not it. As long as you believe you're it, and as long as you believe in your journey, and as long as you believe in your abilities, that will take you further than all of these naysayers. And you are not what you go through. You are not what you're currently going through. The future is so bright, and as cliche as that sounds, especially as someone who be living in her head rent-free, man, you can really create your universe. You can really create the life you want. If anybody needs to be an example of that, is look at Deshae, you know?
Facts.
Like,
facts.
Appreciate you guys.
Facts.
I want to say to you too, I prayed before I came here, and I will continue to pray for the continued success of this podcast.
Thank you.
I wholeheartedly appreciate
that means a lot. Like, that means a lot, man.
You just creating an environment where I felt even safe enough to talk about it.
Yeah. Thank you.
I get really anxious and like my legs get jittery. I haven't done that at all, and I just really wish you guys continued success, and it's going to happen. And same with you, Deshae.
Thank you, guys. Yo, honestly,
listen, guys. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I was so scared to be on this podcast.
Yeah,
I don't know what to expect, you know?
No, a lot of people say that.
Don't know.
No, for sure.
So how do you feel now? Because remember we said like they're gonna see a whole different side of you.
Well, I feel really great. Like, I'm more laid back and chill, like soft spoken, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really like doing this because like I said, I'm laid back, soft spoken, and like very quiet.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I'm a promoter, to be honest. I feel like I know it's crazy. I know. I just love the club scene.
He's a very smiley guy. That's why.
It's a passion of mine.
Yeah.
But like, I don't talk to people like that unless I know you. You know, like to open up to people I don't know.
So just reserved, maybe more so. It's very reserved.
Yeah.
No, of course.
But if you have some alcohol, then that's a different story.
Of course.
And then you're like, a lot of my friends say like,
another one too.
A lot of my friends say when I'm drinking at the club, like that's a different. That's a different side of me.
The real Deshae.
Yeah, the real King Street Demon is what they call me.
King Street. Whoa.
we put that on the sign too.
But it's crazy. Listen, players, it's been 2 hours. We just hit
2 hours, eh?
We just hit the 2 hour mark. My man Deshae didn't even know he was gonna be here for more than. He didn't want to be here for more than an hour. But we got his ass here for 2 hours. We got Lexi in the building.
Lexi, shout out to Lexi.
We got Cass in the building.
Cass in the building.
We got Tina in the building.
Shout out Baby T.
Shout out to Baby T, bro.
In the building.
We got Deshae in the building. Like, come on, man. We did this one for you guys. You guys are gonna enjoy this one, man. Like, comment, subscribe, buy a game card.
Yeah.
And keep supporting players.
I'm gonna buy a game card, guys.
And what do players do? Players play every day.
Come on.
That's it.
2 hours, yeah.
Yeah, that was 2 hours.